The entire United States is either underwater or on fire, but the list Chris just doesn't give a shit because it's time for it.
Zero fucks given by the list critics. We're rolling anyway, even if Payton is sick.
Yeah, I'm back over the road, no more local, and of course my allergies start acting up. Sick as a dog, don't care. List critics time.
Well,
Let's go.
Is it allergies or are you sick?
It's probably just allergies. It's just I don't feel achy like you remember when I caught the flu at the start of the year, right?
Yeah, you were a wreck.
Yeah.
Your voice doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, it's just my throat is sore. Ricola is helping it out.
Like I could tell there's something. I could tell in your voice that there's something going on there, but it's not that bad.
I mean, I can still talk at least.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to start as we do with 21 instances of Tumblr getting deep from pleatedjeans.com. And starting here, Stephen Fresco says, "Sorry, I have bubonic plague. I can't hang out tonight." And 61 below says, "Aw, rats." All right, I get it. Okay, so Emerald Imperial here posts a picture of their cat, and the cat it's an all-white cat, but it has these little black markings on the feet that look like hearts. And it says, "Please look at my cat's feet." And then Seth Everman says, "Ankle tattoos? Lol, what a hipster."
Trying to be edgy, kind of failing.
I don't know. If it's hearts, how edgy can it be?
I don't know.
All right. Midnight Tunes says, well, actually, first they post a picture of an email they got, and it says, "Yo, what up, classmates? This is your boy, Gary Oak. Here's the textbook for free. Smell you later." And there's an attachment of a bunch of PDF files. And they said, "So a mystery student just emailed my entire class a free PDF version of our textbook and left probably the best email I've ever seen." Oh, damn. Yeah, I don't even understand. I mean, when I was in college, I had to buy these textbooks, and they were ridiculously expensive. Like, stupid expensive. And even if you buy them used, it was like a savings of like $5. In this modern age, why aren't we downloading the textbooks?
I have no idea, but I was 2007, 2008 when I was doing it, and guess what I was doing?
You were buying the books.
No.
No? Well,
I paid somebody $20 to let me borrow their books. I photocopied every single page within one night.
Wow. Now, how much did you wind up paying at fucking Staples to photocopy all that shit?
I had a printer at home. All I had to do was buy an extra ink cartridge, and it was like $40.
Oh, yeah, those ink cartridges are a little expensive. You probably saved a lot of money doing that, though.
About $300.
Yeah. Damn.
Bought my Nintendo Wii with that money.
But I could tell you, man, I just don't understand it. Like, what? I mean, you could still make you pay for it, but why aren't they downloads yet? They should have been downloads a while ago.
Exactly.
All right. I ventured from Minecraftia says, "Error 404, your haiku could not be found. Try again later." And that is, of course, a haiku. Unless you say 404, then it's all fucked up. RJ4 GUI 4R says, "Genius." And Benis Mages... Bennett... Oh, God. These names need spaces. Benis Mauglock says, "As an English teacher, this made me weep tears of awestruck joy." As an English teacher, maybe you can pick a better-to-comprehend Tumblr handle. Askbot says, "You wake up one day with the ability to freeze time at will for as long as you want with no repercussions. What's the first thing you do with your newfound powers?" I'm not even going to name the names, but 1, 2, 3, 4 people replied with "take a nap."
Sleep forever and not worry about it.
Yeah. Shit. Can you imagine how much you would get done? Like, you're like, oh, it's 11 o'clock at night. Time for bed. Freeze time. Sleep for 8 hours. Or however long you feel like.
Yep.
And then just get shit done. That would be great, right?
Yeah.
All right. Ted Jeff says, "I don't like using my dad's bathroom because I'm not into watching myself poop." And there's a picture of like his vantage point from the toilet, and there's a mirror directly across. Yeah. But there's like a towel behind him, and this person, Sydney the Significant, says, "I thought your face was embroidered on a hand towel."
Oh.
It's a very serious-looking face, like he's definitely not amused. Brain Static says, y'all think being in a goth relationship means wearing white makeup together, but Mary Shelley lost her virginity on her mother's grave, so maybe step it up.
Oh my God, somebody would make that reference.
Mary Shelley was the original goth girl.
Well, she did pen Frankenstein.
Yeah, not only that, and she hung out with two hippies all day.
Yeah.
The original hippies, Percy Shelley and Lord Byron. It's easy to remember says, someone help me find that image of 4 cats being held up in front of a brightly colored background. The cats look calm being held, but each have their own personality. And then they reply to themselves, says, never mind, I found it. And they post that exact picture. That's cute. I don't know why they needed it, but there you go. Kafka Milk Tea says, I'm eating this Russian chocolate, and it made a rattling noise when I shook it, and there's a horse magnet inside.
What?
I hate Jonah Buckle replies with Russian Kinder Surprise. Thylander says that looks like it's made out of coal, and Kafka Milk Tea says it tasted like coal. A cool guy says you ate a vase. And Kafka Milk Tea says, honestly, at this point, me eating a small vase is the least of my problems. I'm confused.
So am I.
So was it chocolate or not?
Could have been a turd.
It doesn't look like chocolate. It looks like it's ceramic from the picture they showed. But I do tend to think that it's just like the Russian version of like a Kinder Surprise egg. There's just a toy inside, whatever. This person, are we having pun yet? Posts a picture of, it's from I assume British because there's pounds here, a British grocery store, and there's a product that's just literally called goat's butter, and the tagline is, "Who you gonna call?" Get it?
It went over my head again.
Who you gonna call? Goat's butter.
Oh.
Yeah. And they say, I ain't afraid of no goats. And In Dairy Speak says, I am suspicious of the pineapple, though. It means there's a pineapple juice next to it, and it says, innocent pineapple. What is up in the UK, man? They got some weird shit over there. All right, well, girls who are, I almost said whore. Girls who are wolves says, had to label the old trash barrels so the collectors would know to take them. And there's a picture of these two large trash barrels, and it says, one of them says, and so the trash barrels became trash themselves. Take us away, boys. And Sabra CMC says, this should be the last post on Tumblr before it is shut down. I get it. Okay. Swift Nick says, I found this jam in a gift shop. It was raspberry, orange, and gooseberry. Do you know what they decided to name this beautiful thing? Traffic Jam. Because it's 3 different colors, I guess. So it's red on top, and then yellow in the middle, and then green on the bottom. So they called it Traffic Jam. And Lumos 5000 says they saw an opportunity and took it. Well, shit.
Fine.
Mind blown. Argumate says, Wingardium Leviosa, Potter, you were named that, so every time a teacher yells at you, they're going to make stuff fly around the room. Your mother wanted to call you Fred, but I thought this would be more true to his memory.
Let's ask Fred Weasley that question.
I think he would laugh.
He probably would.
He would laugh. Moosefix says, I swear it takes seconds to break over a decade of trust. I'm so hurt. And then they reply to themselves saying, my cat knocked over my drink and stole my ham.
Huh.
Cat, you know, you may love your cat, Peyton, but you know we don't give a fuck about you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, as long as we're aware of that. If he had thumbs and could use a can opener, you'd be mincemeat. You all right there?
I'm hanging in there.
All right. Are you going to be able to get through this?
Yeah.
Okay. Rowdy V Vamp says, honestly, Oh, it's just Rowdy Vamp. Rowdy Vamp says, honestly, being a vampire who is also a goth kid is the best possible cover. Nobody's going to think the kid in all black with an umbrella and sunglasses and a shirt that says bite me is actually a vampire. They'll just think you're a goth kid pretending to be a vampire. And the big Aztecs, what? It's the big ass Texas burger, but there's an S missing. It says, I drink blood to sustain myself and to heal mortal wounds. Yeah, sure you do, Kyle.
Somebody must have been watching South Park with that one.
Yep. Egbert says, I don't know what's funnier, pets with stereotypical human names like Brian and Michaela, or pets with completely ridiculous names like Hamburger and Concrete. And Goth Velma replies with, counterpoint, both. One of each. These are my cats, Switchboard and Gary. I like it. Just Shower Thought says, blowing a dandelion is basically you helping a weed ejaculate.
Oh
so
my.
It's so fucking true.
Wow.
There's replies, but I have to stop to laugh at that. You're like, and it's like, it's just jizz everywhere. It's flower jizz.
It's blowing in the wind and it's getting stuck in someone's hair.
Yeah. Okay, so JP Finch 1 replies with, I was having a good day. We were all having a good day. Churchyard Grim says, I mean, it's kind of not. Seeds aren't analogous to sperm. Hell, pollen isn't analogous to sperm. Plants don't do dimorphic gametes like that. A better analogy would be firing a couple of dozen fully formed babies from a t-shirt cannon. And Lunapic says, now we're having a good day again. Okay. Is that how Jump Luff is made? Peyton?
Yeah,
Can you hear me? Yeah, now I can. You must have cut out there. I said, is that how Jump Luff is made? Somebody comes over to, somebody comes over him and blows him, and then there's all these little hop-ups flying around. Okay. Beatcake says, oh, okay, Beatcake is showing a Tumblr ask they got from an anonymous source. Are you a philosopher? And the reply is, boy, I'm dumb as shit. And Pochowick says, boy, I'm dumb as shit is just rephrase Socrates, I know that I know nothing. So that's the truth. So what's the truth?
The most and ultimate wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. That's us, dude.
Did you just quote Bill and Ted?
Yes, I did. I watched it the other day.
Oh, great. Okay, there's no names on this one. The first person says, buy your pants in the boys section, girls. Live in the beautiful world you deserve where you can fit shit in your pocket. And then another person says, also buy your flannel in the boys section. They have a working little pocket on the chest, and they're not made out of whatever material is thinner than paper, so they'll actually keep you warm. And then the person says, sweet. And the last person says, if only I could buy bras in the men's section. I'm sure they would be cheaper and come with little boob pockets. Well, I've noticed that women tend to use their boobs as pockets, so...
Yeah.
You ever see that?
Yeah, all the time.
I gave my sister money once, and she stuffed it right down her shirt. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Maybe to tease the boys.
No, I think it's because nobody's going to pickpocket her.
Yeah, that too. Unless they want to feel booed.
Yeah, well, unless they want to get punched.
Yeah, that too.
All right. I've actually seen this one, but it's really funny. This person ordered a pizza online, and as special instructions, they wrote, send your cutest delivery boy. And then somebody else replies with, this is what I do every time, and then last time I did it, I got a call from an old Chinese man saying, I'm the only one working. Is it okay if I come? He got a $20 tip.
Well, good for him.
He wanted to know if it was all right. I am not very cute. I am an old Chinese guy. All right, so Zecularly One shows a still from a YouTube video of this middle-aged looking dude sitting at a table with like just a whole bunch of knives open in front of him. And it says that guy is going to get arrested for 17 murders he didn't commit.
Possibly.
He does look creepy. Oh, I just noticed that the title of the video is My Collection of Knives I Found in Rivers, All Free.
Oh.
He is going to get arrested for 17 murders he didn't commit. I mean,
Heck,
if you're swimming in a river or whatever and you find any kind of weapon, you want to just leave that there.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason somebody dumped that. Shit. That was the last one. Out of 21, what do you say, Peyton?
I'll say 14.
I'm gonna say 16 on this one. I did enjoy most of them. I'm gonna move on to 15 Twitter jokes everyone should read.
AKA avoid the dad jokes at all costs.
I would hope so. Although, you know, like, these Twitter joke collections, they can go either way. They can be either, like, really funny, or they could be the absolute worst dad jokes that you could ever imagine.
Possibly.
Okay, Kristen at Pharaoh Crone says, you try to teach your kids well, but then you hear them say hospital truck when an ambulance goes by, and you wonder what else you forgot. Okay, that's funny. It's the hospital truck. I mean, they're not wrong. They're just kind of skewed, I guess.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hackett at Liz Hackett says, people say, if you want loyalty, get a dog, but my dog would abandon me in a dark alley for a pizza crust, so maybe loyalty has layers. It's true.
Yeah, very true.
It's true. It's like those old cartoons where somebody would be like breaking into somebody else's house and they would have sausages for the guard dogs. Ted Travelstead at Trumpet Cake says, it is perfectly acceptable to stare at any species through binoculars except my own.
That should be on Tumblr Gets Deep.
It should be on Tumblr Gets Deep. You're absolutely right. It's not funny, but it is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. Jeff Lyons at Used Wig says, anyone recommend a good book to sit on my nightstand untouched for 3 years collecting dust while I mindlessly stare into this stupid screen?
No.
No, I don't have any recommendations for you. Jake Weissman at Wiseman Jake says, currently watching a woman fall out of love with her boyfriend as she watches him do improv. What the hell is that? That's not even a joke. That's real life.
That's...
Peyton? Hello, Peyton. I am not hearing you. Oh, there you are. I could tell something weird happened there because you cut off mid-sentence.
Probably my phone.
Are you on your phone?
No, I'm using my phone as a tether.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was yelling, that's cruel, that's cruel.
It is cruel, yeah, because like you like mid-sentence you cut off, so I knew something happened there. Fiona at Cogent Analysis says, sorry, guy outside grocery store with a heavy bag and one arm in a sling, but I can't help you. Ted Bundy ruined that for everyone.
Poor Jeff the drunk, he can't go grocery shopping anymore.
Hey, I'm trying to go grocery shopping and the cunts wouldn't help me. Well, all he's going to buy is beer anyway, so...
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's going to be beer and pretzels. So,
well, he did quit smoking. I guess beer's his next.
Yeah, he's had that arm in a sling for like 20 years.
Since 91.
Yeah. Wow, longer than 20 years then. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Mancino Williams at Manta Like Wine says, son, your father and I have something to tell you. You were adopted. Your new parents are waiting outside in the car. Snap. All right, Ari Scott at Ari Scott says, sometimes I see an ambulance and wonder if it's for me, like I died moments ago and I don't know it yet. My date. I mean, what do you do for a living? You didn't need that last part.
No, we didn't. We could have just stopped.
Yeah.
And then we would have been fine.
Matt Monroe at Hey Monroe says, in 34 years I've said I love you to 2 women and every dog I've ever seen. It's true, ain't it? Maeve at Maven of Horror says, during lull in conversation, maybe people who say the earth is flat are thinking of maps. Fair enough.
Are you sure we're on Twitter jokes or Tumblr Gets Deep?
I'm starting to think that the titles might have gotten mixed up on these two because, I mean, these are from Twitter. Mark at the Cat Whisperer says, I could never be a starving artist because the first time I got hungry I'd be like, okay, that's enough art. And Peyton cut off again.
No, I'm still here.
He's back. Well, I could tell because the ambient noise cut out for a second there. Saturdudu says, Saturdudu at Marky Doodoo says, cats always seem to have that look on their face like you just asked them to help you move. It's true.
Yeah. He's got the exact same look on his face.
Abe Yaspi at Cheeseboy22 says, my wife hates snakes, but if they sold snakes at Target, we'd probably have a few snakes. Okay. I get it. It ain't that funny, but I get it.
It went over my head again.
He's saying, like, she would buy it if it's at Target, even if it's something she hates.
Yeah, I like to shop at Target.
Yeah. Sweatpants Mads at What Madness says, no, I don't know the lyrics. I just want to make the noises.
That's pretty much what it is, I guess.
And finally, number 15, Don Nichols at the Dairyland Don says, I don't trust any holiday that doesn't have a Twilight Zone marathon attached to it. Okay. I guess that's mildly amusing. What say you, Peyton? Another 15.
We're going with 6. Did they swap the titles?
Yeah, and the ones that were jokes weren't all that funny. Like, I think the only funny that it was the Target joke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with like 3. That was pathetic. Pathetic.
Twitter joke. Step your game up.
Yeah, seriously, get in gear here, because that was lame. All right, hold on. I did have a few lists that people sent me, so let me bring those up. Oh my. Yeah, it's quiet.
Don't get sick because of me.
It's just a little phlegm. Where is my thing? Inbox. Here we go. Okay. All right. Let's see. John W. Hines sent me a bunch of lists, but not all of them are really all that appropriate for list critics.
Hit him with the Hein indeed.
So, this one might be interesting. Okay, actually, yeah, no, I've done this one in the past, so we can't do that one. All right, let me see what Poof Nisse sent me, because he sends me like 15 lists a day.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Okay, so this is interesting because we're both in game design here, and this is from Dorkly. It's real developers are admitting the sneakiest design tricks hidden from gamers.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I don't know how many of these are, but here's number 1. Tom Francis says that after Half-Life 2 determines a shot will miss the player, it looks for something interesting it could hit instead, like an explosive barrel.
That's interesting.
So literally, like, it's like, oh, well, this is not going to hit the player, but let's have it hit something.
Collateral damage.
There you go. That's interesting. Number 2, we have a term called coyote time for when the player walks off a platformer ledge and presses jump too late, but the jump still works. Like Wile E. Coyote. I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of games do that. As a matter of fact, that's a good way to get like extra distance off a jump in a lot of platform games.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, Serious Sam, bullets are 1 millimeter thick when testing enemies and 0 millimeters when testing worlds, so you can shoot near a corner but hit enemies easily.
Cool.
Okay, then. Well, Serious Sam is really about shooting as many fools as you possibly can, in the face with, like, lots of bullets, so makes sense to me. Number 4, in Surgeon Simulator, we hid many features to incite curiosity. For instance, if you dial your real phone number in the game, it calls you.
I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a thing that I want to do. Number 5, is it okay for me to mention something we're proud of in our own game? In Firewatch, a player not responding to dialogue prompt is a noted choice. The game reacts to non-response, and it helps create a feeling that ignoring someone has social consequence and the other person is real. I've never even heard of that game, but okay.
Me neither.
It's interesting. Number 6, not a mechanic per se, but in High Octane we simply display different stats for vehicles without ever actually changing them under the hood. Well, that's just laziness.
That is laziness.
That's just being a dick. Don't get that game. It looks like a fucking old PlayStation game. Number 7, in BioShock, if you would have taken your last point of damage, you instead were invulnerable for about 1 to 2 seconds, so you get more barely survive moments. Oh. Okay. So he's not being extremely coherent, but I know what he means. Like, have you played BioShock, Peyton?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of, like, really hardcore battles with the big daddies and that, and what he's saying is, if at the moment you defeat an enemy, you would have just taken enough damage to die, they'll kind of give you a little leeway. So it's like, oh, I just barely made it. Number 8, the last bullet in Gears of War's magazines does something like 25% extra damage to give you a better chance at finishing off foes.
Cool.
That's cool. Okay, cool. Number 9, first few Luftrausers enemies deliberately miss you to give you the feeling of being really good at dodging. See, now, that would fuck me up, because in games that you gotta dodge things, and enemies that miss you on purpose, I tend to dodge into the shots. You know what I mean? So that fucks me up. Like, what is that game? I'm trying to remember what game. There's a game, I can't remember what it is, but there's a game where you have to dodge shots a lot, but then there's like a power-up which makes you like semi-invisible.
Yeah.
And enemy shots kind of go wild, but I don't like it because I usually wind up dodging into them then. I forget what game that is. Number 10, not sure if it was mentioned, but the tutorial in Halo 2 asked players to look up. Their input determined whether y-axis would be inverted. Oh, that's cute.
That's actually useful.
Instead, it's asking you, hey, you know, do you want an invert or not? They say look up, and you press whichever way you want up to be. All right. Number 11, add 1 hit point to a destroyed enemy spacecraft until you're sure it's in camera view to show players more explosions and spectacle on screen.
Huh.
They're not saying exactly which game it is, but that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's why I was going, huh.
I'm sure a bunch of games probably do that.
Yep.
Number 12, the xenomorph in Alien Isolation has 2 brains, one that always knows where you are and gives hints to the second that controls the body. Oh, that is clever.
Very.
Huh. All right, well, that was all of them out of 12. I'm going to say 12. That was all very interesting, even the ones that I... Well, okay, actually, I'm going to say 11 because that one with the racing game, that was some lazy bullshit.
I'll say 10.
Okay. So let's see what else he sent me, because that was an interesting one. All right, he sent me this one from College Humor, which is his favorite website to send me lists from. 15 of the cringiest ways people have tried to flirt.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Be very funny, I think. So these are sourced from Reddit. Here's number 1. I saw a freshman try to flirt during my college's welcome week. Our freshman dorms are high-risers. Think 18 and 22 stories. Freshman guy to 3 freshman girls. What floor are you on? I'm on 7. 9. I'm on 7 also. Looks like we have 2 7s and a 9. Flicks his sunglasses down. It was the biggest train wreck I've seen in a long time. The girls just left. The poor guy just looked confused. He shouldn't be confused. He should realize that he's a schmuck.
Well, why'd they leave me? I thought it was clever. No, it was because it was retarded.
No, that's not clever. It's not cute. It's not going to get you laid.
You'd be lucky to be able to buy those women Starbucks.
Yeah, and pour it on your face. Number 2. Well, okay.
Sorry.
Are you all right there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just blow my nose.
All right. Thought you were overcome by a goose demon.
Whack.
When we were 16, a friend of mine always wore this big, long, brown leather coat. Awful looking it was. There was this girl he liked, and lacking the necessary nerve to strike up a conversation, with her came up with a fantastic plan. So one day he comes in wearing this big leather jacket. It was a lovely early summer day, and the girl of his dreams is sitting with a crowd of her friends watching the cooler guys play football. My friend walks up in front of the girl and her mates and does a loud theatrical clearing of his throat. All eyes are on him. I wonder what will happen next. My friend pulls open his coat, holding it open like some kind of park flasher, and safety pinned to the linings of his coat are a bunch of pieces of paper which read in heavy black marker, "You are lovely, let's go out." My friend doesn't say anything. He just stands there for what seems like an eternity, the confident smile on his face being replaced by a look of utter terror. The object of his affection says nothing as her face turns beetroot red, her friend sniggering. After a very long time, my buddy just runs away mortified. The next day, the entire school knew about it, and he never wore that brown leather coat again.
I actually feel kind of bad for the guy.
That is cringy, though.
Somewhat, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I guess he was trying to be original and it backfired.
He's trying to avoid talking is what he was trying to do. I mean, damn. All right, number 3. A fellow rubbed my friend's stomach and said, "This is where I want my baby to grow." It didn't work on her.
No shit!
Wow. Edit. Completely forgot about this. Oh God, he told me I had dropped something. I looked at the ground and couldn't see anything, so I asked him what. He repeated, "You dropped something." I looked again, nothing there, and I asked him what. "You dropped something." This time I just stared at him. Then he yells out, "My jaw, damn girl, you fine." All right, somebody tell this knob to stay off like pickuplines.com.
Something tells me that.
Just tell him to stop. Just stop. All right, number 4. Our dorm sponsored a day at Magic Mountain, and I caught a ride with a few guys I didn't know all that well. Leaving the park that night, a car full of girls asked us to meet them at IHOP. Guy sitting in passenger seat was frat-tractive. I don't know what that means, but all right. We did so, and our driver, who was definitely not used to this kind of attention, decided to impress the ladies by doing backflips in the restaurant. The first time it was met with, "Did he just do that?" giggles and claps. The second time it was, "Okay, buddy, enough is enough." He did this a dozen times. The last few, when he was sweating and no one was paying him any attention, were so goddamn difficult to watch. Yeah, there's the law of diminishing returns right there.
Yep.
All right. Number 5, I have a coworker who calls me Milady and Lady Stark because my nickname is Cat. He also texts me with tons of ellipses at random hours of the night. "I love seeing your beautiful smile today, ... I'll ask him to stop, and then he'll be all sullen for a few days until he resumes his behavior. It's pretty cringy, especially as he's 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
Oh, and all throughout that I was imagining a young knob, and it turns out the guy is older. He should know better.
He should definitely know better. Oh my God.
Good God. Number 6. My friend and I met a couple of girls at a bar, and we exchanged numbers with tentative plans to hang out the next day. That night he got a text saying it was nice to meet us and to text them if we wanted to do anything tomorrow. His response went something like, "We don't know what's going on tomorrow, but if you're not doing anything, feel free to do us." Didn't get any response after that.
No shit, he ain't gonna get a response after that.
You know, that's just trying to cut to the chase a little too quickly, I think.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, come on now. All right, number 7. A Greek man was trying to impress me, and it sounded like he delivered this line often. "You see, I am like Mel Gibson. I know what women want," with the cheesiest smile, followed by, "But I am not as handsome, I think."
Yeah, just...
Oh, well. You know, these days you really don't want to compare yourself to Mel Gibson.
No, you don't.
Yeah, he's kind of creepy. All right, number 8. A guy I know met his girlfriend at a party using the following line. They were talking, and she said, "I'm thirsty, I'm going to grab a drink." And then he replied, "I'll be your drink." Then they made out.
Wow, it actually worked.
It is cringy, but the fact that it worked is kind of amazing.
If it works, it ain't cringy.
Good point. I think maybe she was as lame as he was, and they were just meant for each other.
Possibly.
I'll be your drink. God. Number 9, me the other day. I was drunk and trying to charm this girl at a bar. She says, "I bet you're the kind of guy who says this to all the girls." I reply, "No, I'm actually quite a nice guy. I mean, I give loads of money to charity." I don't give any money to charity. Okay. Fail. Number 10. I saw this girl lick the top of a bar in what was intended to be a sexual way.
What?
Nobody wants to see you lick a bar?
No.
You... Jesus. Oh, wow. What a skank. Okay. Number 11. One time this idiot tried to impress a girl on a date by reciting pi to 100 decimal places and bragging about his Pokemon. The thing is, it actually worked, though.
Holy
okay.
Shit.
I mean, maybe she's just as lame as he is.
Maybe.
Holy crap. Number 12. The venue. My friend Dave was having a New Year's party at his place. The situation. Our friend TK brought a very platonic friend Sarah to the party. Another friend Shane got very, very drunk, needing assistance to stand levels of drunks. He's leaning over the back of a recliner talking to Sarah, holding his phone saying, "So I got one of these. I mean, I don't know if you do, but I think they can communicate with each other if we want them to." She let him down sort of easily. It was so awkward to watch. Can you imagine? I have this communication device.
Like, at that point, just don't even try.
Yeah, go home at that point. Holy crap. Number 13. When I look back at my Facebook chat log, oh God, what was I thinking? Hey, what you up to? Not much, you? Sane. Cool. Yeah. Pretty much just sums up my middle school experience. At least that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little awkward, because kids are awkward, but at least that's normal. You're not like, I got a communication device. Would you like to see my Pokemon? I can recite pi. Like, come on, man. Alright, number 14. In high school, a kid I knew had a huge crush on a girl. He was convinced if she just knew he liked her, she would fall for him. So he pulls out his gum, which he fucking hands to me, marched up to her and started to show her magic tricks involving flipping a coin. Out of nowhere, he then, how to put this, face tackled her.
No.
He did this on a field trip in front of the entire class. That guy went from 0 to 100 in the span of a minute. It's like, oh, check out this coin tricks, and I'm like, what the fuck? Wow, what an asshole. Alright, this is the last one, number 15. 5 years ago, I was a freshman at university. Our completely gameless friend who used to do the finger guns at girls was asking for advice about how to flirt on Facebook messaging. A mutual friend says to my completely clueless friend, tease her about something she likes. The following conversation ensued. Topic gets on to Harry Potter. Yeah, they're great books, blah, blah, blah. Totally. Guess who you remind me of? Who? Neville Longbottom. Girl signs off. Room erupts in laughter.
Ouch.
The look on his defeated face was heartbreaking / unbelievably hilarious. That is completely the wrong thing to say.
That was an ouch.
Like, you remind me of a guy! What the fuck? Alright, well, out of 15, I'm going to say 13. What do you say, Peyton?
I'll say 14.
Okay. He also sent me this, do I want to do this one? No, I don't want to do that one. He sent me a lot, so I'm kind of picking and choosing here.
While you do that, I'm going to cough and hack this up.
Cough and hack away. Jesus.
There we go. Oh,
that got it up. Now he's... Okay. Alright, this is also from Dorkly, sent to me by Proof, and they say it's 20 times cartoons absolutely destroyed the fourth wall.
Let's hear it.
So, this first one, I think this is the Emperor's New Groove, or whatever it was called. It says, how did you get back here before us? How did we, Kronk? Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense. And he pulls up a map and everything. This number 2 is from Scooby-Doo. You didn't pack the luggage? Like, what's the big deal? We all wear the same outfits every single day anyway.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
Yeah. Well, you need multiple copies of it, though. Number 3, I guess this is from some Disney show, because it's got the warthog guy from The Lion King and the genie from Aladdin, and is it? Oh, I guess the genie turns into the warthog, and he says Hakuna Matata, and he says, "Whoa, I was having an out-of-movie experience." They gotta stop making sequels, man. They're getting cheesier.
I think they did.
Good. Oh my god. Okay, so number 4 is an episode of Futurama, and you know how it would show the name of the episode below the logo?
Yeah.
It says, Futurama, not the episode with the dead dog.
Ooh.
Well, that's good to know. So this is from an episode of Pokemon. There's a Hypno that I guess is hypnotizing himself in a mirror because he's fucking stupid, I guess. I said, you got to do something, Ash. There's not much time. So he picks up a flower pot and just shatters the mirror. And God, this is going on forever. Well, all right, let me skip down to the part that's relevant. All right, so basically, these Team Rocket fuckers say, why didn't we do this from the beginning? I said, well, we have to fill a half hour. Shh. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this list. This isn't very good.
It's hard. It's hard trying to hear it be described.
It's hard to look at it. That was like 50 panels from. I had to scroll past half of it to figure out what the hell the joke was. Yeah, I'm gonna abandon this one. I thought that would be interesting, but it wasn't.
0.0.
All right, this one.
I think the 0.0 links.
Yeah, this one might be more interesting. 15 bartenders reveal the coolest thing they've seen a drunk person do at a bar.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right, number 1, I watched a completely inebriated 90-year-old Scottish man play the greatest game of billiards I've ever seen at a local pub. He could barely stand or speak, but he played like a professional.
What did he do? Get all the balls down in one shot?
Like Fred Flintstone. That's what Fred Flintstone does, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was just amazing. But maybe it's so amazing because he was so drunk and 90 years old. Number 2, I watched a girl deep throat a beer bottle from the bottom. She fit it all the way up to the neck. It was honestly intimidating. Another time I watched a dude get thrown out, literally. Out of the corners of my eyes, see movement, and then I turn around and see 2 large bouncers standing at the door and hear a gross sound behind me. It was a dude hitting the sidewalk after being thrown at least 10 feet. He was completely dazed. Looked like they just about knocked him out. After a few seconds, he sits up and rubs his head. As some of us approach, when the door opens, and wham, his missing shoe nails him right in the face. No clue what he did, but we got him to a bench and waited with him until someone picked him up. Still deep throating the beer bottom from the bottom, the bottle. That ain't cool, man. That's fucked up.
Wonder what else she could do with a bottle.
I don't want to know. Number 3, a drunk regular accidentally takes another drunk regular's purse home. She calls him to bring the purse back. They were friends, which he does while eating an ice cream cone. She rhetorically asks where her ice cream was. He proceeds to go to the gas station across the street and comes back with a whole grocery bag full of ice cream cones, and not only gives one to her, but to every customer at the bar and multiple to us bartenders. There was something so adorable about a room full of adults elated to have one giant spontaneous ice cream party. Well, shit, I can get behind that.
Same here.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Number 4, guy asked me what my biggest tip was, then said he'd triple it. Made $500 in 4 hours. Damn.
Must have been a good night.
I would say. Number 5, not a bartender, but at some point my dad and his friends were at a bar, and this midget walks up to the bar and orders a drink. This dude is really fucking short, like 4 feet or something. When the bartender gives him his drink, he thanks him, he tosses some cash up on the counter, and then the rest of the cost of the drink in coins. Only he flips the coins up, so when they land on the counter, they're spinning. Finally, he steps up to the counter with a few quarters in between his fingers, jumps up and slaps his hand on the counter, and the quarters hop perfectly into the tip jar. Is this real life? That's amazing. Then the dude just turns and walks away. My dad and his friend just sat there staring at each other. That guy is probably the smoothest motherfucker alive.
He's probably getting more pussy than we are combined.
I would say so. Damn. That is a hell of a trick. It's funny because as soon as he said the word midget, you know where my mind goes.
Midget bar fight.
No, I was actually thinking of Eric the Midget.
Oh. Yeah, but he
like,
doesn't...
I want a beer, you jackass.
I didn't know he drank beer.
Well, no, I'm just imagining that, you know, but I don't think he did actually. But then it's like this is the opposite of Eric the Midget.
Yeah, he's out there partying and everything. He probably doesn't have a club foot either.
And he's smooth and he knows all these tricks and shit. Because like I think like a lot of people didn't understand what made Eric the Midget so great is that he was the most boring motherfucker in the world, but he thought he was interesting.
Exactly.
Like, he would call into the Howard Stern show like, I was watching American Idol and I thought that, and then they would just talk over him for 10 minutes and he would get so pissed because he thought what he had to say about American Idol was important or interesting.
Kelly Clarkson is very beautiful and you will not make fun of her.
I'm tired of you making fun of all my favorite idols. Yeah. All right, number 6. So dumb, but at last call, my buddy and I went over to one of the exits to make sure people weren't leaving with drinks, see the ordinance. We see a very drunk girl in her early 20s approaching, being helped out by 2 of her friends. When she gets close, she goes to my buddy. She raises her hand up for a high five. My buddy raises his hands to give her one, and she immediately goes into finger guns and says, "Who's gay?" pointing at my friend with his hand raised, looking like a dope. It was so random and unexpected, a true stroke of drunken genius.
Oh my God.
Using at least.
Yeah.
Number 7, I don't know if cool is the best description, but I cut a very drunk guy off one night, but allowed him to sit at the bar to sober up a bit. After a couple of clubs... Jesus Christ, I gotta move my phone. It's like, I put it on a surface like that, and every time it vibrates, it sounds like a fucking, supersonic dildo. Let's try this again. After a couple of club sodas, he stumbles over to the jukebox to play some music. It was an old jukebox that required you to push 4 digits to play a song. Well, this guy makes a selection. When he pushed the 4th digit, he just pushes himself backwards and falls flat on his back, making a huge scene. Just as I start to make my way over to help this drunk ass up, his song starts playing. It's I Fall to Pieces by Patsy Cline. Perfect.
Wow, how fitting.
I think he did it on purpose. Probably thought that was really funny. All right, number 8. I used to work at a golf club. Well, the horn sounded for all the golfers to come in because a storm was coming through. So I've got all these guys in the men's grill drinking and having a good time when the power cuts out. Inky darkness, can't see a thing. The generators turn on after about 20 seconds or so, and one of the guys is standing on his chair with his pants down at his ankles and is pulling off his shirt. He gets it off, looks around the room all staring at him, waits a beat and says, "Oh, we're not doing this?" The room erupted. It was just perfect. That is funny. He's lucky they thought it was funny because he could have gotten his ass beat.
Yeah.
Right, number 9. Wow, this is a long one. I hope it's worth reading all this.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bartender, but I play old music videos at a bar, currently at work now, so pardon the formatting. There was this extremely drunk dude that came in one night and kept pestering the regulars and requesting some of the dumbest and cheesiest shit ever. I didn't comply. It was funny at first, but it began to get on everyone's nerves because of how loud and obnoxious he was being about it, and at some point he just gave up and started singing aloud to whatever was on in a little corner. Eventually, he came back up to me, which got on everyone's nerves. Everyone began yelling at him to go home and stop bothering us, but he got up close and whispers, "I'm leaving now. Can you please play Delilah by the sensational Alex Harvey Band?" I indulged him this time, and he began singing like he did, and everyone ignored him. When the chorus hit, though, he jumped up on top of the bar and started dancing and belting it out at the top of his voice. The doorman came barging in, ready to pounce at the guy, and almost as if to protect him, the whole bar erupted in singing and dancing. It was like a fucking movie. The guy went from being the most hated person in the room to the coolest dude there. Everyone ended up buying him drinks, requesting more cool stuff to sing along to, and after quite some time hanging with him, one of the regulars even let him crash at his because he was way too fucked up to even tell a cab driver where he lived. Is this guy's name Ralph, by the way? I'm just curious. I don't really know the details, but it turns out the guy actually had just gotten back from the courts where he lost pretty much everything he had worked for his whole life to his wife in a horrible separation. It also turns out he has great taste in music, and he was just trying to request the cheesiest music to get people to sing with him that night. He's now a regular, and I love getting requests from him. He also found some great friends here and goes out golfing with the rest of the regulars all the time. Perhaps it isn't as cool, but people always talk about the power of music, and I've never seen it work like that before. I've also never seen a crowd's opinion of a person change in an instant like that, and I don't know if I'd ever see something like that again.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Number 10, followed a guy down a flight of stairs. He could hardly walk. While going down the stairs, he did a complete 360 and never missed a step. I tried it sober and almost killed myself.
Wow.
Why would you try it sober? That's asking for it.
Yeah.
All right, number 11, some guy said to me after I just served him, "Watch my beer, I'm going out for a cigarette." He then threw the cigarette in the air and caught it in his mouth and walked outside like nothing had happened. That might have been cool like 40 years ago. Come on, man.
I would have been impressed. Then again, a lot of stuff amazes me.
I guess so. Number 12. A group of guys were being loud and obnoxious assholes in a very full bar while playing pool and pumping tons of money into the touch tunes playing their Hoobastank or whatever the fuck they were playing, being completely disruptive and intimidating anyone trying to use the jukebox. This one random dude sits at the bar right in front of me with his girlfriend and says, "Want to see something funny?" Pulls up the Touch Tunes app and starts playing a bunch of random songs and get queued up to the front of the list. Almost everyone in the bar started laughing at the group when Mariah Carey's Christmas album started playing while the bros were yelling at each other to figure out who played the song. Went on for about an hour until they left. Oh, random guy, I wish there were more people like you out there. That's hilarious. You pressed the wrong fucking buttons, bro.
Why we gotta listen to Christmas music? It's July!
Number 13. Typical not a bartender, but I was once at a bar in my hometown on Halloween night. Everyone was in costumes. I was on the patio smoking area, and one dude stood out. He was 6'5" and dressed in full super real looking cowboy gear. Stetson hat, jeans, duster, boots with spurs, etc. Just standing in the corner smoking cigarettes by himself all night. Saw a bunch of people on the patio smoking and drinking, and I noticed a woman dressed as a slutty minion or something equally silly, with a cigarette in her mouth, digging through her purse looking for a lighter. Out of fucking nowhere, Cowboy Dan swoops in, flicks open a Zippo, lights her cigarette, tips his hat and says, "Ma'am," and goes back to the corner without another word. It was the coolest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
That guy's slick.
Yeah. He's got to help the slutty minion.
Hey, that slutty minion probably had like blonde hair and had that, I talk like this.
Tattoo right above the crack of her ass.
Shit, those are usually the best ones. As long as they ain't like overweight fat ones.
It's a target.
Target acquired.
Number 14.
Bullseye.
Oh God. Sorry, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the sluts, as they say. Number 14. I was a regular poker player at a local establishment. The place was mostly whiskey and cigars and had an older crowd. I was around 22, but I liked the atmosphere, and beating drunk old dudes at poker was what paid my way through dropping out of college. Okay, I'm already laughing. On this particular day, my dad happens to walk in and sits down at the poker table. I don't know why he was there. He isn't a card player, and he was never much of a drinker. On this night, he was pretty plastered. He orders another drink and manages to slap down some money for poker chips. I was doing my best to explain the finer points of no-limit Texas Hold'em to him when the action comes to him. Without even looking at his cards, he tosses a handful of chips onto the table, a decent chunk of change. Someone calls. My dad had an ace-high flush, cashes in his chips, calls himself a cab home, and buys a table a round of drinks.
Sounds good.
That could have gone very poorly, but it worked out. All right, and number 15, ex-bartender assistant here, worked in one of the bigger country bars in Canada. I've seen a fair bit of stupid shit, but the best would have to be a shorter guy, 5'2"-ish, step in when a buddy was about to get the shit kicked out of him by another drunk guy, over 6 foot and reasonably built. The shorter guy steps in, blocks the angry drunk, who promptly backhands the shorter guy to the ground. Normally security would have stepped in by now, but it was a busy night and they hadn't seen the altercation. Shorter guy stands back up, dusts himself off, and does what I can only describe as a jumping jackhammer punch to the drunk guy's face. Basically, he jumped up and rode the guy down, feeding him what looked like to be 5 to 6 punches. Guy was done before he hit the ground, broken nose, the works. Unfortunately, both were kicked out due to fighting, but I fought for the shorter guy to stay. Hey, wait. Short guy, Canada, drunk, kicks out. This is Wolverine.
Yeah?
That's Wolverine, right?
Yeah, he kicked.
There you
He's
go.
a short guy. He's like
Yeah.
smaller than everybody that was up there. Then he was just kicking everyone's ass.
There you go. That's the real life Wolverine right there. Okay, that was the last one out of 15. I'm gonna say 10. What do you say?
14 for me. We're almost all of them were pretty good.
I think like most of them were lackluster, to be honest, but the midget one was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome. All right, let's see here. Okay, I got this list. This is I found this one. It's from Knowable. It's awkward people. It's these awkward people mistook something very serious for a joke.
Uh-oh.
You ever laugh at something you weren't supposed to laugh at?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this list right here.
Oh.
Okay. So number 1, I was at a pirate-themed costume party. One woman was dressed as the coin from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The costume was pretty big. You can only see her head and legs, so I shouted across the room, "Hey, it looks like you have no arms!" To which she replied that she didn't. I laughed it off thinking she was joking. Nope. She literally had no arms. I've never been more mortified in my life.
Wow.
Oops. Well then. All right, number 2. I laughed and laughed when my wife told me she was having an affair. It took her 10 minutes to convince me. After that, I stopped laughing.
What, is she too ugly to have an affair with him or something?
Or maybe he thinks he's too awesome to cheat on. Or maybe he thought he was being pranked.
Possibly.
You know? Number 3. Honey, you're adopted. I was laughing so hard. Then they were like, no, seriously, look. They showed me the adoption paperwork. I didn't see it coming.
Ouch. What a way to find out.
Yeah, right? Not that it's that big of a deal. Why do people get so upset when they find out that they're adopted?
I don't know. Ask Zach that question next time you talk to him if you do.
I don't.
Good.
I don't.
He bitches about it. He bitches about it so much. I'm like, what are you worried about, man?
His parents chose him.
Exactly. Be thankful that at least they're still helping him out with everything.
I mean, that's like something I heard about a kid who was being teased for being adopted. He says, my parents chose me. Yours are stuck with you. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would be upset about that. Number 4. I was working on scheduled improvements to a factory production line, which was going to take a couple of days. The production manager came over that evening and said, "You're going to be finished before production starts up tomorrow morning, right?" I chuckled and responded, "No, this line will be down for a couple of days minimum." The production manager chuckled back, "No, but seriously, make sure you finish up everything tonight so the line can run in the morning." I replied, "Ha ha, I wish." Then there was an awkward pause where we both realized we were serious and the factory had some serious logistical issues.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, oh well. I guess they're fucked. Number 5, I work at a non-profit. My boss needed to fill a position, so he sent me to a job fair to collect some resumes. I found Kevin, a young guy full of energy and enthusiasm with over a decade of fundraising experience. A couple of days later, I approached my boss about the new hire. "So, when is Kevin starting?" "Actually, I hired someone else." "Haha, seriously, when is Kevin starting?" But it wasn't a joke. Instead of Kevin, my boss hired a dim-witted sleepy guy with no discernible skills. I guess he felt they had more in common. 3 years later, that guy finally got fired for never actually finishing a single project.
Wow. It took him 3 fucking years.
Well, that guy rode the gravy train for 3 years, I guess, huh?
Must have been nice.
Yeah.
Getting a paycheck and everything for it.
Well, it couldn't have been that big of a paycheck if it's a non-profit. Those people don't get paid a lot.
Oh, non-profit. Never mind. I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's probably making shit, you know? Number 6, one Monday morning, a guy comes up to my desk, says, "My car is on fire." I respond by laughing. Good one. The guy says, "No, I'm serious. Look out the office window." There were 10-foot flames shooting out of the hood of my car.
Have fun with that one.
You know, it's not on that level, but I had something happen where my dad, of all people, comes up to me and tells me that he hit my car, and I just laughed it off. But he really did hit my car.
Thanks, Dad. Now I got to call the insurance company.
No, I didn't do that. But
okay.
it's a very minor. The only bad thing is I actually can't open the door to get in. I have to go in from the other side.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, what I do is I open the passenger side door. I put my shit on the seat, and I reach in and I turn the car on, and then I hit the button for the window to go down. And then I walk around on the other side, and I reach my hand in and I open the door that way.
Oh, never mind that.
So at least I don't have to crawl across. I still hate doing it because he put a dent in the car, but it fucked up the handle to the door.
Yeah.
All right. I could get it fixed, but it's kind of not a priority, you know?
It's an inconvenience is what it is.
That's exactly it. It's just an inconvenience. Number 7. Your dad just cut his finger off with the push mower. How do you do that even?
That's what I'm wondering.
It's a push mower. Your hands are supposed to be on the part that pushes it.
Maybe he tripped and it came backwards.
That's maybe something was stuck and he was trying to reach under there and get it. Idiot. Number 8. I was chatting with an elderly security guard at the movies. Oh, that reminds me. I got to check movie times. I wanted to go tonight. And he was talking about having a degree he never used. He said, now I only use it to decorate my bedroom wall. I laughed, but then he told me, you laugh now. I still laugh about it sometimes, but I cry most of the time. Rough.
Very.
I just realized I gotta look up movie times. I was planning on going to the movies and I have no idea what time to leave. This is showing at 7:45. All right, we'll do that one. Okay, cool. Back to it. Number 9, one of my best friends, a twin in college, told me she was pregnant. She had played jokes on me before, so I laughed and said, no way, you're the smart one.
Huh?
She's a twin.
Oh.
You must have missed that part.
Yeah, a little bit.
She says she's pregnant, and he says, no, you're the smart one. Ha ha. Ouch. Number 10, I have a slight hearing problem, which has led to several awkward faux pas situations. The worst one was when I was a cashier at Walgreens. A woman came up to pay, and I asked how she was doing, and she replied with a sigh and said, I clicked to the next page, oh, I just found out, ... I couldn't hear the second part, so I asked her to repeat it. I still couldn't hear the second part, and I didn't want to make her keep repeating herself. Her delivery sounded like a dry joke, so I just politely laughed. She gave me the dirtiest look and said, what's so funny about my husband having cancer?
Oh. Oh, ouch.
Well, at least the guy has an excuse that, he's got the hearing problem. Maybe it's time to get a hearing aid. I mean, holy crap. Number 11, I was taking a cave tour at West Virginia. At one point, the tour guide said, scientists believe that these markings on the rocks were made by erosion from rainfall over time, but we know that it was actually created by the water from Noah's flood. I laughed unpleasantly and involuntarily, and the guide glared at me for the rest of the trip. Well, it's not his fault that the guy's a moron. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know those people that, the Earth's only 5,000 years old. Number 12.
Yeah.
You can't wear ponchos on campus anymore because we've decided it could possibly be offensive to someone. A lady said that at a student union meeting. It was the pause before someone that made it so funny, I think. The entire lecture theater took it as a funny joke about political correctness. She was deadly serious.
Is that supposed to be Joker? Because I think
No, it's not. It's not a joke. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's like everything, though.
Who would a poncho offend?
I don't know.
But I love the way she couldn't even say it could possibly be offensive to someone. Well, anything could be offensive to someone.
Your offensiveness offends me.
There you go. Number 13.
I just blew a hole in your head with that logic.
There you go. Not really, but there you go. One time I walked into my school and I noticed my friend was very upset. I said, what happened? Your cat died? It was an Italian saying. He said, no, my mom died. I laughed for a while because he was a guy who would make those types of jokes.
Oh,
yeah. Not this time. I didn't know that I'm part Italian myself, but I didn't know that in Italy they have a saying like, what's the matter? Your cat died?
Wow.
That's a crazy saying. That could only lead to bad things. Number 14. One day in middle school, I needed to make a phone call home. This was before I had a cell phone. I went to the office. The secretary said, it'll cost you 50 cents. I laughed. She didn't. That was the moment I realized that despite being a good kid, adults suddenly wouldn't like or trust me simply because I was in middle school.
Yeah, and that sucks.
Wait. The school wants to charge him 50 cents to make a phone call?
Yeah?
Why?
Schools are still doing that.
Why?
I have no idea.
Are they that hard up for money? Holy fucking shit. Well, number 15. I used to have lunch with this guy I work with. We became really good friends. All of a sudden, he stopped coming to my office, so I decided to ask him why, and to find out why, I got to click to the next page. He told me it was because I think you have a crush on me and you make me very uncomfortable. I'm a straight guy and 12 years younger than him. I laughed, but then I realized he was serious. He has an extremely jealous wife who put all these weird ideas in his head. As soon as I realized he wasn't joking, I said, "Do you realize how unattractive I find you?" It just sort of came out. I felt really bad after.
I probably wouldn't.
I'd be like, dude, you ugly as fuck. Even if I was gay, I wouldn't get with your ass. I feel bad for the guy whose wife is so overbearing that he can't even hang out with a guy.
Yeah. Wow. That sucks.
He wants you. Number 16, I went to a party and saw a friend sitting on a couch. I went over to chat. "Hey, man, how's life?" "Pretty terrible. My girlfriend left me yesterday and took our son, and I don't know where they are or why she left." Huh?
Why is that laughable?
Maybe he thought the guy was just joking? I don't know. That doesn't sound like a joke, you know?
No, it sounds like...
It sounds serious.
If I was having a shitty day, it just got better.
Yeah, right. Number 17. I was a preteen at Bible camp, and one of the leaders was sharing the story of his upbringing. It got really intense, and he ended with, "And now my brother is an alcoholic." His tone and the timing was rather comedic, and I thought he was doing that to break the tension. Without thinking, I let out a huge "ha." Everyone turned to look at me. I tried to fake a coughing fit to play it off, but I don't think it was very convincing. Well, it's funny because he says that, the tone was like a joke, but he was the only one who laughed.
Must have been only to him then, because he was...
Yeah. Your brother's an alcoholic. That's so funny. Number 18, this guy I know said that anyone who takes any kind of drug should be killed by the government. I laughed. He said, "No, seriously, it would solve the problem." Oh, because that works so well for Singapore, right?
Yeah. Didn't exactly work all that well there.
Yeah, my landlord was saying something like if they something similar to that, like, if they had harsher sentences, and this and that, we wouldn't have this drug problem. And I said, in Singapore they whip you with a cane and throw you in jail for having a joint, but people still have drugs there.
People gotta get high. They gotta do whatever it takes to get high.
There is no deterrent. You know what I mean? Well, actually, I did know one person. I dated this girl for a very brief period of time. She was not smart, but she had big boobs, so, She wanted to do some, what was this drug called? It was legal. And the reason it was legal, because it was not pleasant, actually, what turned out. It was this new synthetic drug that there was no regulation against, and she wanted to try it. And I talked to a friend of mine who is a druggie, and he said, "Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's fucked up," And I forget what it was called. Oh, salvia. She wanted to do salvia because it was legal. And I said, you really don't want to do that. I heard nothing but negative things about it. But if you want to get high, I can get weed easily. And she says, "I don't want to do that because it's against the law." Wow, you're the only person these laws work on. So
Guess you just wanted to see those whacked out images that happens whenever you, do a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Salvia. I don't know. Like, the guy told me that he tried it and he came out of it hiding under his car, screaming his head off. Did not sound like a ringing endorsement. So there you go. Number 18. Oh, that was number 18. I gotta move on. Number 19. Good morning, ma'am. Police. Did you know your husband was having an affair with one of his female students? Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
She laughed at it? She should have been her first reaction should have been, "Oh, that's appalling."
Well, maybe she
thought like, what?
No, see, I think she assumed she was being pranked. You know what I mean?
All right, what game show is this? Where's Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah, I know, right? Not a joke. Number 20. Oh. I met a custom what? I met with a custom wedding ring maker. I derped out there for a moment. He asked what my budget was, and then immediately told me his fee started at $20,000. If I had a drink, I would have spit it over him. He was totally serious. My budget was $2,000.
Well, come back in $18,000 or go to
You know,
go to K's.
to be fair, wedding rings are not supposed to be that expensive. It's the engagement ring that's supposed to be expensive.
Yeah.
The wedding ring is just a simple gold band, so there's no reason it should be $20,000. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What is that, the one ring to rule them all? Number 21. We were watching Snow White and the Huntsman in the theater. There's a scene where a magical deer or a unicorn or something shows up and then stands there all majestic-like. Then he gets shot with an arrow and keels over. I burst out laughing. Everyone looked at me in disgust.
I laughed at that scene too.
I didn't see this movie, so I couldn't tell you whether I thought it was funny or not. Number 22. My cousin told me she was dating a girl named Fear. Apparently that wasn't some kind of existential joke.
Fear, like with an F?
Yeah, F-E-A-R, Fear. Who would name your kid Fear?
I don't know. I know somebody named Listerine.
Oh, hell no. Really?
I feel bad for that guy.
Listerine? It's a guy? I assumed it would be a chick.
No, it's a guy.
Why is his name Listerine?
His parents must have been on some whacked out psycho...
Maybe they were drinking
Nostalgia.
Listerine. Maybe they were drinking Listerine.
Maybe.
What do you call him?
Listerine?
He doesn't have, he doesn't
Yo,
have a nickname
Listerine,
or
what's up?
something that you can call him?
Yeah?
If my name was Listerine, I'd be like, yo, just call me Joe, all right?
We just call him Listerine. Either that or we call him by his last name, Johnson.
Okay, call him Johnson.
Yeah, but then we're talking about dicks.
Not necessarily. It's Johnson, not Schwanson. All right, number 23. When I was a high school freshman, there was a girl in my class who said, I have never kissed a boy, and I wouldn't unless we were married because I don't want to get pregnant from the kiss. I immediately laughed until I saw her confused look and realized that she was being serious. That was the first time I truly thought the U.S. education system had failed us.
Or the parent system failed as well.
I think you're right. I think that's the parent system right
Was
there.
her first name by some small chance Carrie?
I don't even get the joke, and I'm laughing.
It's a Stephen King joke.
That Carrie. Well, yeah, I guess.
Why did you tell me, Mama?
Yeah, you didn't tell me nothing. All right. Number 24. My ex's brother's ex-girlfriend was a magnet for these. Everything that came out of her mouth was serious, and it was all ridiculous. Here are some of her hits. Looks at a CD case. Made in Mexico, but they're a third world country. How do they have CD technology? Aren't ants just baby wasps? I mean, they look similar. No, Hawaii is in Cuba. It's not in the U.S. Cats are always female and dogs are always male because they're the same animal. Sexual dimorphism. She learned that phrase and used it whenever possible 3 weeks straight. Horses have teeth?
What?
I can't even decide which of these is the funniest.
I'm just like, if the webcam was up, you could see my reactions. Like, they're just getting more worse and absurd.
But if some girl that you knew said any of these things, wouldn't you laugh?
Yeah.
And there you go. I guess the education system has failed us.
Lord have mercy on us all.
Number 25. This happened 2 days before my sister-in-law's wedding. We just got a call. The church messed up and the wedding isn't at 11 a.m. anymore. I started laughing hysterically. Can you imagine? I didn't need to imagine because we were living it.
Oh, boy.
Well, what time was it at? I mean, that's rough because everybody, like, there's invitations set out and there's all sorts of things planned out. You know, that's rough. Because the church messed up.
Nice going, Pastor.
Jeez. It wasn't it was probably some secretary.
Probably.
Yeah. Number 26. Years ago, a coworker told me never to drink water from a pond with a beaver dam because I could get beaver fever. I laughed. He informed me that it's a real thing and that his dad died of it. I felt so bad. You know, beaver fever wouldn't sound so ridiculous if it didn't rhyme.
Yeah.
Number 27. At college orientation, my group was told that we were going to see an improv show later in the day. When we got there, it was one of those acting troupes that does shows about alcohol poisoning and drugs and stuff like that. We all kind of tried to politely laugh throughout the show because we felt bad that it wasn't funny or even well done, and we were under the impression that it was comedy. We totally got yelled at afterwards, but at least one guy pointed out that we were just trying to be nice to a group that we were told were comedians. Yeah, when you hear improv, you think it's going to be comedy, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that improv drama? That's awful. Nobody would want to see that. I don't even want to see improv comedy.
Of course they would. Wow.
Jesus. Number 28. A girl was writhing around on the ground at a festival. I thought it was performance art. Turns out she was actually having a really bad acid trip, and paramedics had to rush in. The looks from her friends as I lamely tried to explain myself will haunt my dreams. You see somebody having a seizure and you assume it's performance art? I think you're the asshole here, sir.
That's more than being a dick.
Good Lord.
Whew. Jesus.
Number 29. When I was in high school, I worked at a video store. One night when I wasn't on shift, I went to rent a movie. But, you know, our younger listeners have no idea what this guy's talking about. As soon as I entered, the manager dragged me outside and demanded to know if I'd left a bottle of pee in the office. He was the kind of guy who'd say anything to screw with people, so I started laughing. Fortunately, he didn't take that as a sign of guilt and pointed out that if he'd been screwing around, he would have asked in front of everyone. Turned out it was another employee's way of giving notice. That's a hell of a way to quit. Just leave a bottle
very
of
much.
piss. Like, here's my piss. I quit. Holy shit.
Chug it down. I'll see you later.
Yeah, well, that was the last one. So out of 29, I'm gonna say 26 to that one.
26 for me as well. Holy
right.
shit.
Okay, so I think you're gonna appreciate this one because I'm willing to bet that you might have a story to contribute to this next list.
All right.
It's the wildest one-night stand morning after stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any contribution to this?
I remember going to a friend's house right after I just got my CNA license. She invited me over.
So this is quite a while ago then.
Yeah, this was like 2007, 2008.
Okay, so 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was 4th of July weekend. They're having a big barbecue. They got a swimming pool in the back. And I'm like 20 years old, but they didn't care. They had booze out the wazoo. I'm drinking, guzzling like fucking crazy. And
You were out of control, in other words.
pretty much.
Wow.
And I woke up the next day. The girl who invited me is sleeping next to me. She's completely nude. I still have a rubber around my dick. And I'm looking around like, I wake her up, I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
And
The rubber on, you know what happened. It's a shame you don't remember it.
she looked at me, she's like, are you serious? And I said, yeah, I'm serious. What the hell happened? And she's like, you stuck it up my ass on accident. And then she kissed me afterwards, said, but I enjoyed every second of it. I said, I just went with it. I just went with it.
So you went to a party, got drunk, did anal, and you don't even remember it?
Fuck no, I don't remember.
That's a shame, because that would be a hell of a memory. Wow. But I loved every second of it. Okay. That may be better than this whole list. We'll find out.
Let's hear it.
Number 1, I woke up the next morning in a strange bed with a strange man next to me. I felt like I had been hit with a ton of bricks. I looked at my phone, which had like 20 missed calls and texts from my friends asking where I was and asking if I needed help. It was 7 a.m. I went into the bathroom and realized that I was covered in hickeys and bite marks. I went back into his room, woke the guy up, and pointed to my neck. He shrugged shoulders and said, "You told me to do that." I rolled my eyes, started getting dressed, and couldn't find my underwear. We searched the room for a solid 5 minutes, me half naked and him half awake. We couldn't leave them behind because this wasn't his room. It was his buddy's room, and he was due home any minute. We ended up finding them behind the TV. Don't ask me. I opened the door, hoping for a quick exit, before remembering my car was still at the bar and I needed a ride. I walked into the living room, and there were 3 guys I knew from high school sitting on the couch, grinning, laughing at my hickeys, and in general disarray. I had to ask for a ride, cringeworthy, since my phone was dying, and I had no idea where I actually was. It's a hell of a party, huh? Peyton?
Hello?
Oh, there he is. There he is. I didn't get your reaction. I didn't get your reaction to that one.
I was just saying, yeah, I think I'm going to top this list.
Yeah, well, you topped that one at least. Number 2. I woke up alone and naked in my bed. I figured the dude had left. No big deal. Suddenly, I had terrible, horrible, awful, intense stomach cramps. I got up to go to the bathroom. I had to run with my hand cupped under my butt to avoid making a mess.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, I went to the bathroom for a solid 15 minutes. I was sitting on the toilet, grateful the dude had left and wasn't there to witness my horrible explosion. I got it all out, took a shower, and went back to my room to find a huge brown puddle in my bed and him still there. Needless to say, we never spoke again.
And just like that, I have lost my crown. We're only 2 in, and we lost the crown already.
That's, well, I mean, yours was a good story. This was a terrible story. You know
This
what I mean?
is one of those situations where it's like she shat afterwards and didn't realize it. She just kind of like laid in it all night long.
Oh, it's so gross.
Oh,
And the
God.
guy is still laying in it.
Yeah. At least with her, she said it was very nice and clean.
Oh, boy. Gross.
And I'm just sitting there going, oh, my God. But had it plenty of times after that, but it was just one of those things where it's like, why couldn't I not remember this?
Yeah, you'd want to remember that. All right, number 3. She wanted me to stay for the night. I didn't want to, but I did. I woke up in the middle of the night and tried to sneak out only to find that the door was locked. She woke up and asked me where I was going. I need some water was the only excuse that came to mind. She walked with me to the kitchen, walked with me back to the room, and locked the door again. This guy was lucky to get out of there alive.
You're tied up, man. Handcuffed to the bed.
That's the reverse gender version of Gerald's game right there. It's Geraldine's game. Number 4. He punched me in his sleep, which resulted in me having a pretty bad black eye for a couple of days. We're friends, though, so he's never heard the end of it.
Wow.
What kind of messed up life does this guy have that he sleep punches?
Must have been having a wild dream.
Yeah, I know, right? Number 5. We spent the night together at a party and woke up reminiscing about the night before. He walked to the gas station to get us drinks and snacks. I had bubble guts, so I farted one time. It smelled like death. He came back maybe 10 minutes later, and it still reeked. So he started yelling about, who let the dog crap in the house? He still doesn't know it was me. 10 minutes later? Holy crap, that must have been a fucking death fart.
That's
crazy.
brutal.
Ugh. Number 6. I served in the U.S. Navy. On one of our visits to Singapore, I met a girl at a club called Fire. I woke up at her apartment in the morning, about 2 hours from the time my ship was set to depart, having spent all my cash the night before. I had no idea where I was and no idea how I would get back. As I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, one of the other guys from my ship called the girl. It turns out that they were friends, and he saw me leave the club with her the night before. He had a taxi meet me at her place and got me back to the ship in time. Well, at least that worked out okay.
Yeah.
Number 7. I woke up to her husband holding a gun to my head. Beware the cougars.
Oh, yeah.
That's just about as bad as it gets right there.
Avoid cougars at all costs because they're at that age where it's like
They need to have it, and they don't care. They don't care what the consequences may be. Number 8. I wake up to him saying my dad wasn't supposed to come home so early. I just thought he lived with roommates. He tells me to jump in his closet. I'm fully nude and my clothes are in the living room. I start to argue, but he insists, and so I get in there and hear them having small talk for almost an hour. I realize I really have to pee, but they could just drag on and I'm dancing around. And then the guy I slept with left for work. I can hear the dad making breakfast and just settling in. Now I start to panic. How am I going to get my clothes? Screw my clothes. I'll wear his clothes. I start to root through the stuff in the closet, but all I found were shirts. So I ran for my life, full speed through the house with sex hair and a long shirt. Finally, I got to my car. The dad yelled at me, What? Hey, who are you? That's great. Can you imagine you just sitting there for breakfast and some random girl just streaks by you like that?
I would have been like, what?
What the devil? Who are you? Like, exactly like this guy. Like, what the?
What was his dad worried about? His dad should have been like, wait a sec. That was one of his shirts. She had the sex hair.
Well, I
My
tend to think...
son's not gay!
Oh, I think you probably knew that. But,
Well,
whatever. Number 9. I woke up and went outside to call an Uber home after hooking up with this girl and going back to her house. Turns out her dad is an Uber driver, and guess who his first customer in the morning was?
uh-oh.
Hands down the most awkward car ride I have ever experienced.
So, do you deflower my daughter?
Oh, God.
I just locked all the doors. We're gonna go for a little ride.
I'm gonna go
It's out to a little cemetery about 20 miles south of here.
We're going to the quarry.
Yeah.
Number 10. Oh, this is a very short one. I woke up next to a woman with swastikas tattooed on her chest.
Ouch.
I never drank gin before that night, and I haven't since.
Smart.
She was a Nazi, George! God.
Oh, man.
Number 11. The previous night was Valentine's Day. I had just been dumped by a long-term boyfriend. I was drunk at Walgreens, looking at flowers and chocolates, thinking about my ex. I then decided it would be a good idea to buy him a balloon and some flowers and leave it outside his house because these are the kind of brilliant ideas I get while drinking. When I get outside, I let go of the balloon and it flew away. I started crying and some dude in his car asked me what was wrong. When we woke up next morning, you skipped a couple of parts there, lady.
Yeah, I think so. I was like, what? What happened?
He asked you what's wrong, and then all of a sudden you're waking up next to him.
I think she blacked out.
When we woke up next morning, he started telling me about how he was trying to be a rapper and made me listen to some really bad stuff he had wrote. I had to get out. When I got up to leave, he told me I had to wait until his grandma left the house to play bridge with her buddies. I finally get to leave after a couple of hours of extremely uncomfortable and awkward feelings of regret. As I walk out, I see his grandma had put the flowers I bought in a vase on the table.
Oh, that was nice of her.
Oh, wow. Something happened there.
She blacked out because she was wasted.
I think maybe she's glossing over the part where she slept with the first guy who was nice to her. Because she was in a vulnerable state. Number 12, she was actually really cute and nice. When she got up to leave, I said, "Lock the door behind you." I was super hungover, and when I finally managed to get out of bed, I was in for a shock. She had taken all the food in my house along with my blender. Like, how did she even pull this off?
Because you were so shit-faced wasted, you had no idea what the hell was going on.
She took his food and his blender? That's weird. Like, if you're going to steal something, you don't think, I'm going to take this guy's blender.
I don't know, but that's funny right there.
It is funny. Number 13, we slept in her bed, which was a cot in the kitchen. Clue number 1 to stop drinking so heavily. She woke up She woke me up to introduce me to her 3 children. Clue number 2. They were sleeping in the same bed because the youngest had pooped the other bed during the night. Clue number 3. The same bed she told me to hide in when there was a knock at the door at 8 a.m. turned out to be your sister, but still, clue number 4. She then introduced me to her pet lovebird. She informed me she would be naming one of them after me. Clue number 5. As I'm desperately trying to get out of there, she physically removed the stuffed animal from her youngest arms to give it to me to remember me by. Clue number 6. I did not take the toy from the now crying toddler. If I hadn't needed a drink so badly after that debacle, I might have given sobriety a shot.
Oh, that's... oh.
Boy, she sounds like a fucking terrible person. Yikes. All right.
Be the father of my daddies.
Number 14. I woke up next to my one-night stand. She had wet the bed. There were a total of 9 people in the house. The 2 homeowners knew each other. Everyone else were total strangers. Come to find out, I'm in a different state, which, to be fair, is only like 2 hours away from where I live. I had to sit around in pea-soaked clothes with a bunch of strangers while my friend came and picked me up. He made me put on a trash bag in his car.
Wow.
Well, he's urine soaked. That can't be pleasant.
Nope.
Number 15. I was at a local spot a few years back, and I met this girl who was pretty cute. Anyway, we chilled for a bit, headed to her house, frisky business, and then we fell asleep. I woke up and noticed a bunch of school books. I asked her what she was studying, and she told me she goes to the local high school. Oh, this can't end well. I died a little inside and left. I ran into her a few weeks later, and it turns out she was just messing with me because she needed me out of the house before her roommates got home. Oh, it did end well. Okay.
That's good.
Oh, God. Just like you woke up next to a 15-year-old. That's about as bad as it gets. Luckily, it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Number 16, I hooked up with this beautiful woman at a festival. She lived nearby, so she insisted we go back to her house. After an entire morning and almost afternoon of loud sex, I decided to go downstairs for a drink. Turns out she didn't live alone like she said. She lived with her 2 brothers, both of whom looked like they were pretty aggressive. I casually had to continue my stroll to the fridge shirtless, then introduce myself. They both jump off the couch and try to jump me, asking who I was and where I was from. Thankfully, she came downstairs and introduced me and then asked them to drive me home. Being that she was the older sister, they had to say yes. Being super far from home, I had to accept the offer. I got a lift with the brothers of the girl I had just plowed the life out of all night. And to think, he said loud sex, so her brothers are sitting downstairs listening to this. Probably just getting more and more angry.
What the hell is he doing up there? When he gets done with her, we're gonna. Better yet, we should bust in on him right like midway and save her.
Yeah, and save her. Number 17. Her 1-year-old son crawled in bed and woke me up. He thought I was his daddy. For some odd reason, I didn't mind it.
You know what? I'm cool with that.
Okay. Number 18. I hooked up with a mature lady from the bar at which I worked. I woke up next morning to sounds coming from the kitchen. She says it's her son. For some reason, she also mentions that he's starting a new job that day. I say a brief awkward hello to him as I leave the house. Guess who showed up at my work for training later that day?
Oh!
You know what? This kid can't say shit to him because literally anything, the response is, I fucked your mom.
Well, I had sex with your mom, so technically I'm your dad. I did this to you. Mama, yeah. Your mama.
Good Lord.
You call me Superfly.
Number 19. After my first night with my future ex-husband, he rolled over and asked, Jennifer, did we have sex last night? My name is not Jennifer. I should have run at that point.
Yeah.
You know, technically that's not a one-night stand if you wind up marrying the guy. All right, number 20. I woke up mostly naked and still drunk with the guy I'd slept with asleep in bed next to me. Okay, that's normal. But then I looked around and discovered that there were 5 other guys in the hotel room. Okay, that's not normal. I calmly looked up and asked the guys, did I sleep with any of y'all? A resounding no. I got dressed, woke the guy up, and we all went to Taco Bell.
Gangbang.
Well, they said no, so I guess not a gangbang. Maybe after Taco Bell they had the gangbang.
Ugh, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that either. Number 21. I woke up to a bunch of Snapchats of my penis from the girl I slept with. She put a couple of them on her story. I guess she did this when I was asleep.
That's funny there.
It's awkward, though. Good Lord. Nobody wants flaccid dick pics out there. I mean, that's the worst. Number 22. I came home with a girl from the bar. We were both trashed, had sex, and her dog watched. Why did the dog watch? Good Lord. She vomited on me during the act. I cleaned up as best I could before passing out. I woke up in the morning to the sound of her mom attempting to come in, asking who was in her room. She said, no one, go away. Then she told me I couldn't leave until her parents left for work. No way was I staying there for 2 hours, still partially covered in puke. I climbed out of her window on the second floor and jumped off the roof. I stuck the landing and jogged away down the street into a cul-de-sac. I turned around to make my escape, and her mom is on the front lawn in a bathrobe, staring me down, holding her morning coffee. I walked to a gas station where a friend picked me up. If only he hadn't turned the wrong way, right? He might have
I was thinking it was going to be something like along the lines of I woke up and the dog was licking the puke off of me.
Oh, gross. That would have made sense, though, I guess. That I can see how you'd think that. Number 23, I woke up next to someone and immediately regretted the decision I had made the night before. So I got up slowly, being as quiet as I could, and started putting on my clothes, readying myself to leave. I got halfway down the staircase before I realized I was trying to sneak out of my own house.
Oh, that's funny right there.
That is good. Holy crap. Number 24. This girl's parents came home a couple of days early, and in the morning I was sleeping with her in the room with a couple of alcohol bottles surrounding the bed. As soon as the parents got home, they went upstairs. I was completely naked with no covers on, and so when they entered the room, they saw me completely naked. I thought her dad was going to beat me to death. It was probably the most awkward thing to ever happen to me. That's pretty bad. Oh, that was the last one. Okay. What do you think was the absolute worst one?
The second one, take the damn cake.
Oh, now I got to go back. I don't remember which one was the second one.
It had something to do with
the pooping.
Yeah. She goes to the bathroom and he's sitting in the shit still waiting on her.
I don't know, like waking up next to a Nazi. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary in and of itself. But
actually, you know what? No, I think the worst one was that creepy one where like the girl wouldn't let him leave.
Oh yeah.
That's just creepy. I mean, obviously the guy got out because he got to tell the story, but it's got to be frightening.
Yeah, very.
Well, out of this is very good. Out of how many were there? Shit. There was a lot. Shit. I gotta go back to find out how many there were. 24. I want to say 24.
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
Flawless victory.
Yeah, flawless victory. Okay, let's see. What do we got next here? I got a lot of things to... A lot of these are kind of like the same sort of thing. I want to do something different, you know? Okay, this might work. This is from thethings.com. It's 15 social media posts that escalated too quickly.
Oh, this could be good.
I'm always a fan of this kind of thing. So number 15, this girl Holly posts on Facebook, I need Google in my brain and antivirus in my heart. And her friend Laith says, and Photoshop on your face.
Ouch!
That's a sick burn. I love it.
Where's Blaine at? He's got some burn heels.
Blaine? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Blaine.
It sounded like you said Blade, and I was thinking of Wesley Snipes for a second. I'm like, what?
Nah, he'll just come in with his katana and slice something.
Yep. Number 14. Okay, so this one's from Tumblr. Nerdbird says, Google is definitely a woman. It starts suggesting things before you can even finish your sentence. And Sassy Spoon says, that must mean Bing is a man. Tries to convince people it's superior and does a horrible job with pleasing its users.
Ouch.
Damn.
Okay. We're gonna go to the we gotta go to the Pokemon Mart real quick and buy like how many of them are there? 15.
All the
we're gonna need 15 burn heals.
Yeah. We're gonna need that map of all the burn centers in the United States.
Well, right now it's all on the West Coast. Y'all stay safe out there.
So this is on Facebook. This guy Vincent on Facebook puts a message on the Wendy's Facebook. Now you know how sassy the Wendy's social media can be.
I love it. I follow him just for the lulz.
He says, "Is it true that your ghost pepper fries contain my mixtape? If so, I will have to take you to court." Wendy's replies with, "No, our ghost pepper fries are actually hot."
Ouch. Burn heel number 3 applied.
Yep. Jeez. Number 12, this one's from Facebook. The names are all redacted. The first person says, maybe it's not always about trying to fix something broken. Maybe it's about starting over and creating something better. And then somebody says, and that's why you have a younger brother. I hope that was one of this person's parents, too. That's really good. I love it. Holy shit. All right. Number 11, this person on Facebook named Joe says, well, they don't say, they posted one of those quote memes, and it says, no matter how big your house is, how recent your car is, or how big your bank account is, our graves will always be the same size. Stay humble. And then Tim says, explain this, and puts a picture of the Grand Pyramid. And then Joe says, fuck off, Tim. Yeah, I mean, the pyramids is pretty much the biggest grave there is, so... Fuck off, Tim. All right, let's see. This one is also on Facebook. All the names are completely redacted. So this person says fat tire with a smiley face. And somebody else says, you're incredibly rude for posting something like this. They say, you're incredibly vain if you think this post has anything to do with you. And then the complainer says, wow, bitch much? You're obviously making mean names for me. Says, wow, insecure much? Fat Tire is a brand of beer. If you honestly think that every post containing the word fat is directed at you, maybe you should lose some weight.
Ouch.
It's true, though. Like, she sees I don't know why I'm assuming it's a girl. It could be a guy. But they see the word fat, and they're like, you're being mean to me. Like, what? It's not like you were tagged in it.
If the shoe fits, you better put that son of a bitch on and wear it with pride.
There you go. Number 9. These are all redacted. It's Facebook. The first person says, throwing lamps at people who need to lighten up. And then somebody else says, throwing handles at people who need to get a grip. They say, throwing refrigerators at people who need to chill. Throwing scissors at people who need to cut it out. Throwing straws at people who need to suck it up. Throwing bridges at people who need to get over it. Throwing knives at people who need to be stabbed. I like that. Every bit of that was funny.
Yeah. I'm still laughing.
It's good. All right, number 9. So this woman posts on Facebook, listening to Britney Spears' new song, You Better Work, Bitch. And some person says, June, watch your language. This is a family website. And why do they redact the names if they're just going to put the names in the actual post? So then June says, do you think I care, Judy? Oh, by the way, your chocolate and ginger tarts tasted like dirt. Wow, that got catty.
That escalated quickly.
When soccer moms attack. Oh, gotta go to the next page. Number 7. So this person named Monique posts on Facebook, I hope Mrs. Johnson is at the reunion. She was my best teacher / my favorite of all CHS. Thomas says, yeah, I had her too. And Larry says, what the fuck, that lady was your favorite teacher? She a bitch. Because of her, I had to take summer school. That was hard to read because his spelling is incredibly bad. I think that would be the reason he had to take summer school. So then the actual teacher posts and says, sadly, I will not be able to attend, but thank you all for inviting me to your group. Larry, I'm sorry you feel that way. Obviously, my grammar lessons didn't stick too well.
Ouch.
Jack posts, oh, LMFAO, burn, go Mrs. J. Larry tries to come back at her and says, whatever, I couldn't say it in high school, so now I say it, you are a bitch. He didn't even spell bitch right.
Wow.
He spelled it, you gotta hear it, B-I-T-H-C. He mangled it.
Wow.
Man, doesn't this guy have autocorrect? So then the teacher comes back and says, Larry, you can barely say it now. Also, I could have said that in high school because bitik isn't a real word. I'm assuming, to use context cues, to assume you're attempting to call me a bitch. In that case, I will point out that your Facebook information lets me know that you are currently single and unemployed. Who's the bitch now?
Ouch.
Damn! I can tell why people like her.
I think we may have to double down to the bird heels on that one.
Shit. Number 6. So the Lad Bible posts this meme that says, what do you call the end piece of bread? And this person says, I call it your mum because everyone has touched it, but nobody wants it. Nice. It's true, though.
Yeah.
Always moving that bread bud out of the way to get to the good pieces. All right, number 5. This person on Facebook says, is there anything creepier than someone running with a giant smile on their face? And somebody says somebody walking really slowly with a giant smile on their face. And then another person says, someone whose knees bend in the wrong direction, smiling as they slowly walk backwards while spiders pour out of their eyes.
That went quick.
Wow. I think that last one might have been Stephen King. Holy crap. Number 4. This person says, wishing my GPA looked like those gas prices. And somebody replies and says, and I wish those gas prices looked like your GPA. 0.0. All right, number 3. This guy Morris says, get away from here and don't Nicki Minaj and your talking shit, don't diss Nikki fool. What the hell is this person even saying?
Oh no, I'm still laughing at the 0.0.
Okay. I didn't even like the only thing I understood in there was Nicki Minaj. Let me try this again. Get away from ear and don't Nicki Minaj and you're talking shit, don't diss Nikki fool.
Translation, I love Nicki Minaj and I want to lick her clit, and anybody who talks shit about her will get punched in the clit.
Okay, fair enough.
Guess. I don't know.
So Tristan says, Morris, I need you to do something for me. I need you to find the nearest Scrabble set, get all the pieces with letters on them, and eat them all. Then find the strongest laxatives that you can and consume them. Then, when you shout out a bunch of Scrabble letters, inbox me what they say, because that will probably make more sense than anything you will say intentionally, you illiterate son of a bitch.
I gotta remember that comeback.
Oh my god, that's amazing! You illiterate son of a... all I understood was Nicki Minaj. That's the only thing I understood in that. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I don't even understand her.
Oh, I watch her videos on mute.
Oh.
Yeah. Number 2. So this is actually, I've seen this one actually. You know who Tom Anderson is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Tom Anderson on Twitter says, people keep asking, so I'll say it. Fear over Instagram's term change is ridiculous. Get real, folks. Polo Tapia says the guy that was not able to keep a social network alive. And Tom Anderson replies, it says the guy who sold MySpace in 2005 for $580 million while you slave away hoping for a half day off.
Ouch.
Wrecked.
Well, I mean, MySpace is still around. They're just not used as much.
MySpace has become like the poor man's Bandcamp.
Yeah, I know a lot of musicians use it because Facebook can't. You can't like just have a song playing.
Yeah.
Because but
Now, who wants
MySpace.
that these days?
Like
Who wants that? Who wants to go to a website and it starts playing music? That's like 1996 shit.
I miss that.
I don't. Because usually I'm playing my own music. I don't want some other shit interrupting it. You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, and here's the final one. Number 1, Sam Bruv Bird posts this page on Facebook called Illuminate. Says, fuck the Illuminate. You're the reason the world is fucked up, you cunts. So the Illuminate page says, Sam, we are not the Illuminati. We are Illuminate Fridays, a branded night that shows top DJs and quality production at a nightclub here in Atlanta. And then he says, oh, okay, sorry. Not the Illuminati. Did this guy think, like, first of all, if you think the Illuminati is real, you think they're going to have a fucking Facebook page?
Probably not.
Yeah. No. That's like, okay, when I worked at Progressive Health, I got to tell you this real quick. This is funny. We had this one client. This guy, they're all brain injured, so they're all, a little fucked up in one way or another. And this guy, first he believed that he was in a coma and it was everything that he was experiencing was a dream, right?
Right.
Then he got bored of saying that. And he started saying that he was a secret agent. And one day he said it to me, and are you all right there? Did your cat just try to climb up you or something?
No, he's still at home. It's just I was blowing my nose.
Oh, wow. It sounded painful. So this guy tells me that he's a secret agent, and usually I try to ignore, when they're delusional, like whatever. Don't try to feed into it, But he starts going, I'm a secret agent. I'm making reports and this and that. And I go, I said his name. I'm not going to say it here, but I said, listen, people who are secret agents don't usually announce that they're secret agents. And it's like his mind was blown, He had nothing to say to that. Anyway, out of 15, I got to say, 15 all day. This was amazing. I wish there was more of them.
That second one. No, wait. No, I'm still... Yeah, I'm going with 15, too. I for some reason, I kept thinking this was the one about the shit stain.
Oh, you're still on that. I think the best one, that Scrabble thing, dude. That was amazing.
Oh, it's the Scrabble.
You know what? I'm going to even do everyone the fair. I'm going to read that part again. Morris, I need you to do something for me. I need you to find the nearest Scrabble set, get all the pieces with letters on them, and eat them all. Then find the strongest laxatives that you can and consume them. Then when you've shat out a bunch of Scrabble letters, inbox me what they say, because that will probably make more sense than anything you will say intentionally, you illiterate son of a bitch. I tell you, man, we got to get like Artie Lang to do a dramatic reading of that.
Yeah.
Like how he just rattles off The Godfather, Wow, that was really good. Okay, so let's see, what else do I got? Okay, this one might be interesting because you're a truck driver. You've traveled all over the country, right?
Southeast and East Coast right now.
Yeah, but you have been to a lot of places, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, California, Nevada, the Great Salt Lake Desert was absolutely beautiful in winter.
Oh, that might be cool to see. So you've eaten food in a lot of different places in the country.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this is from fashionbeans.com. I don't know what the fuck the website's about, but the list is every state's grossest food that people love.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
I probably haven't had very many of these because I haven't traveled a lot, but you might have. You never know.
Let's hear it.
And we'll find out like what our home state's grossest food is that people like. You're from Texas. I'm from Pennsylvania. Let's find out. This is going in alphabetical order, so you're starting with Alabama, and the pick is ambrosia salad. I've had ambrosia salad, and it is pretty fucking gross.
It's... I don't want to think about it.
How does something that contains sour cream and coconut and sugar and marshmallows a salad?
I have no idea.
It's gross. I've had it. It's nasty. Number. Alaska's is akutak. Do you know what akutak is?
Nope.
It's also called Eskimo ice cream.
Oh.
There's no cream involved in Eskimo ice cream.
No, it's just full-blown ice.
No, it's not. It's actually made from like walrus fat.
Never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah. So they take like animal fat, like either from moose or walrus or whatever, and then they get like whatever berries they have on hand, and they mash it up, put some sugar in it, and there you go. Eskimo ice cream.
Actually sounds kind of good in all honesty.
I would honestly, I would try it, but it's amazing. Leave it up to the Inuit to make ice cream less healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, from Arizona, it's mesquite pods.
What the hell are those?
They are barbecued spiders.
Alrighty then. Next.
Oh, thanks to that. Arkansas is buffalo ribs. Now, you might think that might be ribs from a buffalo, or you might think maybe it's ribs with buffalo sauce on it. It's actually the ribs of the buffalo fish.
Oh.
And apparently they are massive. It says, if you aren't a fan of consuming food that measures bigger than the size of your face, you might want to stick to traditional ribs. I don't know. I like fish.
I like fish too.
For California, it is goop. What is that? You're eating Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy? What does this mean?
Oh.
All right. It says, well, if you're on a health kick or you identify as vegan, gluten-free, or you claim to be a lover of kale, we know you're lying. Just give it up. Then you've probably heard of goop. Dubbed by Thrillist as aggressively wholesome, this fad takes the idea of healthy eating to a whole new... Oh, so it is the Gwyneth Paltrow diet.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't like her. Colorado, it's shredded wheat. First of all, they have shredded wheat everywhere. I doubt Colorado can claim shredded wheat. You go to any fucking supermarket and you can get that shit. And secondly, that's like my favorite cereal, so I don't think it's gross.
Yeah.
Shredded wheat is awesome. Connecticut, it's New Haven clam pie.
New Haven clam pie.
Now, are you imagining like a pot pie with clams in it? Because that's what I would imagine.
God damn it, you're reading me like an open book. Yeah.
But you know what? It's actually a clam pizza.
Oh. Make the legendary white clam pizza that put New Haven on the map.
You know, I would try it.
I'm actually looking these up as you're saying them.
Oh, okay.
And sure enough, it is a New Haven exclusive pizza.
I would so try that, though. I mean, I've had anchovies on pizza, so why not clams?
And New Haven ain't all that far away from y'all either, so...
Yeah. Oh, you say all that. It's a good 4 hours away.
Well, you got to remember, I'm a truck driver, so
Okay. So Delaware's pick is slippery dumplings.
Slippery dumplings?
I'm reading this, and it's just chicken and dumplings. What's the big deal? Everybody's had chicken and dumplings.
That's all it is. It's just chicken and dumplings. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, man, chicken and dumplings is awesome. I make that pretty well too.
Oh, it's made in the Dutch oven. I guess that's what makes it Delaware-y.
Okay, there you go. Florida is gator tail. I mean, what's the difference?
Oh,
I'd eat it. I'd eat it.
gator tail is so delicious.
You just barbecue that shit right up.
Yeah, Raven actually had a barbecue, and there was these guys. They made they smoked like a shit ton of gator tails, and I asked him, "What the hell is that?" They said, "Gator tails. You ever had one before?" And I'm like, "No."
It's
Do
meat.
I want to? He's like, yeah, it's basically just meat. It's meat off a gator.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right. Georgia, it's ham hocks. What's wrong with a ham hock?
I like ham hocks.
You know, some greens with that. Cornbread? Shit. Now I'm hungry. After this,
same here.
Go get some food after this. Hawaii is spam musubi. It's basically a nigiri made with spam instead of fish.
You say wasubi or wasabi?
Musubi.
Oh, musubi. Okay.
It should be called a nigiri because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But for some reason in Hawaii, spam is ridiculously popular. My phone is going insane. I probably should look into this and see if it's anything important. There's literally nothing important in any of that. Okay, so Hawaii's, I don't know, I think spam is gross, to be honest with you. I can't eat that shit. You ever try it?
Spam sounds really good right now.
You like spam? I don't know, I can't. To me, honestly, I can't tell the difference between spam and dog food.
Well, for me, as a truck driver, especially now that I'm back over the road, spam is actually inexpensive and easy to cook in the truck, so...
I get you, man. I get you. But you can get like a canned ham that probably tastes a lot better than that.
Probably. But, I mean, I do have to get a lot of canned stuff.
Well, yeah. Idaho is sturgeon eggs. That's just caviar. What's the problem with that?
It's gross.
You've had caviar? It's not gross, dude.
Yeah, caviar is like, oh my God.
I don't know. Illinois is gravy bread. What is gravy bread? Let's see. It's a French dip sandwich dipped in a warm vat of beef juice for extra flavor / sloppiness.
That actually sounds really good right now. What state was that one again?
Gravy bread, Illinois.
Illinois. I gotta remember that next time I go out there.
Okay. Doesn't sound bad. Indiana is brain sandwich.
What the hell is that?
It is pork brain sliced up and deep fried and put in a sandwich.
Sliced calf's brains.
Well, yeah. Well, it says pig on this.
Oh, pig.
But I guess it could go either way. But it would be safer to eat the calf brains because pork brains got some kind of enzyme in it that can make you very sick if you eat it.
I think I'll stick with the calf's brains because that sounds really good. I mean, I've had monkey.
Yeah, I don't, that's just organ meat. I don't mind organ meat. Iowa is, really? You think this is gross? Loose meat sandwich? Loose meat sandwiches are great.
No, that sounds good right now.
It's just some fucking chopped meat and onions on a bun. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Kansas is beer rocks.
Oh.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, beer rocks. Those are good.
It says they're also known as cabbage rolls.
It's basically a...
They're comparing it to a Hot Pocket.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's a Hot Pocket.
They don't really say what's in it. They just say it's like a Hot Pocket.
It's stuffed with meat, cheese, vegetables.
Okay, those are all things that I like.
Yeah.
There's nothing gross about meat, cheese, and vegetables.
Well, the main ingredient though is sausage.
Oh, I'm down.
Especially Oktoberfest branded beer bratwurst.
I am down for that.
Oh yeah,
right.
Same here.
Kentucky's pick is lamb fries.
Those are good.
Have you had lamb fries?
Yeah.
Do you know what it actually is?
Yes. And I'm proud to say I still would eat them because
all right.
I've had...
That's cool. All right, and we're dancing around. I'm just going to say it's testicles, just for anyone out there who's wondering.
I was about to say, I've also had Rocky Mountain oysters, too.
Well, that's cow balls, right?
Yep.
You know what? To be honest, I would try it. I'd give it a shot.
As long as it's cooked, I'll eat it. If
Oh
it's
yeah, you can't eat raw
if it's-
balls. No raw
If it's
balls.
like Fear Factory where it's raw, fuck.
Nah, fam, nah. All right, Louisiana's pick is nutria. Isn't that a giant rat?
Nutria, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a capybara or something. I don't know that I'd eat that. They're too cute to eat.
All right, Nutria food. What's this? Meat from a 20-pound. Yeah, it's basically a swamp rat.
It's like a smaller version of a capybara, right?
Basically, Nutria. No wait. Yeah, meat from a 20-pound swamp rat. Taste test from Boing Boing. It is the meat of unusual taste, a Nutria meat sampler. So yeah, it's basically the swamp rat Nutria.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd eat a nutria. Maine's pick is tamale, not like a Mexican tamale. It's spelled differently. Okay, this is gross. You ever have lobster?
Yeah.
You know the green shit you're not supposed to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine eating that mixed with like ham and shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a lobster pancreas and liver, which they use as a topping for otherwise delicious lobster rolls, or just eating it on its own or mixed with ham.
Oh Jesus.
It's like lobster head cheese. All right, Maryland's pick is stuffed ham. What's wrong with stuffed ham? I've had stuffed ham many times. They put like collard greens or spinach or something in it, and sometimes there's cheese involved.
I gotta check that out whenever I can.
Yeah, I'm seeing no problem with Maryland's stuffed ham. Massachusetts is marshmallow fluff. I don't know. That's everywhere. Why is Massachusetts claiming marshmallow fluff? And yes, it is gross.
I still eat it.
Oh, I can't. To me, it tastes like plastic. Kind of looks like plastic, too, to be honest. Michigan's pick is something your neighbor took care of.
What?
Yeah, they're talking about the roadkill chili.
Oh.
Minnesota is the pickle dog.
Pickle dog.
It's essentially a hot dog, but instead of the hot dog part, there's a pickle there.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I'd rather have a hot dog, but that doesn't sound that bad. I like pickles.
Yeah, even on Delish, the website I looked up to see this, basically it's basically a hot dog wrapped between two pickles.
There you go. Mississippi's pick is the coolicle. That's a
What was that? What was that again? Sorry.
Coolicle. It's a pickle soaked in Kool-Aid.
Oh, okay. That actually sounds kind of sounds kind of good.
I would try it. It looks bizarre, but I would try it. Missouri's pick is the St. Louis style pizza.
St. Louis style pizza.
Now, St. Louis, I've had this, and it's actually not bad. It's a very, very thin crust, almost like a flatbread, and it gets all crispy. And they tend to put like a bacon and like lots of cheese and all kinds of stuff on it. And they slice it into squares instead of slices.
Oh, I think Domino's started recently doing that. I think
it ain't bad if you get it from like not from a Domino's, but from like a legit place,
Right.
Montana, you just mentioned this, the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Bull balls, anyone?
Fried balls.
Sign me up. They are. I don't care what anyone says. They are exquisitely delicious.
I've never had it. I'm kind of a very open-minded when it comes to food. You know what I mean? I would try anything once, as long as it's not still moving. Nebraska's pick is the hot beef sundae. That just sounds like a. If you looked it up on Urban Dictionary, it might be like some kind of horrible sex act.
It can't be any bad than an Alabama Hot Pocket.
Oh, I know what that is. So essentially, it is a savory sundae made from like beef and cheese and like mashed potatoes and stuff like that.
Sounds like something they're doing at Denny's still with the bacon sundae.
You know what? There's no ice cream involved. It's
Oh.
It just looks like a sundae. It actually looks more like those bowls that you get at KFC.
Ugh. I'll avoid that one then if it's got mashed potatoes in it.
You don't like mashed potatoes?
No, I hate them. That's the one food I will not eat.
You ain't never had good mashed potatoes then.
Probably not, but every time my family tried to make it, or every time I was at the school cafeteria, or when it was served for dinner,
Well, okay,
like
the cafeteria, that was probably like the instant made from a powder which doesn't have real potatoes in it.
probably, I don't know. I just know it was nasty as fuck.
No, I could make some bitchin' ass mashed potatoes, man. I mean,
Well,
you gotta load it up with butter and cheese though, but you know.
Well, if Miller gets a load out there, I'll try and schedule one, I guess.
Nevada's pick is the all-you-can-eat buffet plates, courtesy of casinos.
Well, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
$25 and have fun.
New Hampshire's pick is grape nuts ice cream. Okay, grape nuts don't even have like any kind of real flavor to them to begin with. And then I'm only imagining when you try to mix grape nuts in with cereal, they get all hard.
Oh, grape nuts. I thought you were saying great nuts.
No, grape nuts. You know that cereal that old people eat?
Yeah.
Because they ain't got nothing better to do? I don't know about that. That sounds nasty. New Jersey, pork roll. Okay, pork roll is just something that, unless you're from either New Jersey or New York or Pennsylvania, you're not going to know what the hell it is. They call it Taylor ham here. It's like a salami kind of.
Yeah.
With like egg and cheese. It's actually really good. It's a good breakfast.
Don't they serve them in donut shops nowadays?
Yeah, it's becoming more popular everywhere. But it used to be like It used to be like a New Jersey thing, but it's becoming popular all over now.
Yeah.
They call it pork roll throughout most of the country. In New Jersey and the surrounding area, it's called Taylor ham. New Mexico's pick is carne adobada.
Sounds like a carnival food.
It's chili. It just looks gross. It's red chili pork. It literally looks like a bucket you might find in Leatherface's house. I'm sure it tastes good though. New York. That's the state I was born in, and the pick is garbage plate. Not cabbage, but garbage plate. Alright, so if you never had the garbage plate, it's basically like a loaded French fries kind of thing.
Right.
Instead of French fries, it's like the roast potatoes. And, they put baked beans on it, they slice up hot dogs, there's onions involved, they pour chili over it. Every place does it differently, but that's the garbage plate.
Gotta check that out when I go up there.
It's good stuff. North Carolina's pick is liver mush.
The hell is liver plush?
Liver mush.
Oh, liver mush.
It says it's pig liver, cornmeal, and head parts. So it's head cheese.
Well, this Google definitely makes it look good, at least.
North Dakota's lutefisk. I actually know what lutefisk is. Lutefisk is it's some kind of whitefish, and they actually soak it in lye, which you'd think, well, that's poison. But then they boil it, and then they don't always do this, but sometimes they bury it underground for like a couple of weeks, and then they dig it up and they eat the shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's lutefisk.
I think I'll skip that one.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if I would eat that. They say it smells like bleach.
I'm not gonna eat anything that does smell like bleach.
Yeah. Ohio's pick is the Cincinnati chili. I mean, I gotta agree. I like chili, but for some reason in Cincinnati, they feel like you can't just eat chili. You got to pour it over a plate of spaghetti first. I don't get that personally. For me, chili goes... You know what chili goes on? More chili.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be poured over rice or noodles or spaghetti, which is weird. Oklahoma's pick is fried rattlesnake. And I've never had it. My grandfather back in the day said that he had fried rattlesnake, and he said it was really good.
Fried rattlesnake is actually really good.
Yeah. And judging from this picture looks really appetizing. It also looks like it's wrapped in bacon. That looks tasty. All right, Oregon is well, they're just using a blanket term for their just increasingly strange ice cream flavors that they got in Oregon, like for example, Parmesan ice cream, blood pudding ice cream, corn flavored ice cream. You know, am I just that much of a boring person and I'm just like, can I just have chocolate?
Yeah.
Jeez. Pennsylvania, where I'm from right now, and they pick Scrapple. Yeah. Scrapple ain't good. You ever had Scrapple, or do you know what it is?
Nope, never heard of it.
It's like Pennsylvania's shitty take on Taylor ham.
Oh.
It's not good. It's not good at all. Rhode Island's is the chop suey sandwich. Why would you put chop suey in a sandwich?
I have no idea. But these guys...
That's bizarre. All right, South Carolina's pick. Oh, it's chitlins. Nah, chitlins are good. I mean...
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you hear what it is, it's kind of like, ew, but, like, it is good. It is organ meat. It's pork intestines, and sometimes they boil them, but the proper way to do is deep fried.
Still good either way.
South Dakota's pick is chislick. What the hell is chislick?
Chislick? What the?
They're cubes of meat fried and served like mini club sandwiches that you get at parties. What's wrong with this?
I don't know. It looks pretty good.
Sounds good to me, chislick. All right. Tennessee's pick is the Fat Elvis.
Oh, the Fat Elvis.
The peanut butter and jelly sandwich minus the jelly, subbing it for banana and including some bacon on it.
It is surprisingly very good.
But what they're not mentioning is that usually it's not just the peanut butter and bananas and bacon sandwich. They usually fry it too.
Yeah, they put it on. They put it in a frying pan. They grease up the pan, with like Pam spray or Crisco or whatever. And it's like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Well, if you want to do it like Elvis, you'd use butter.
That's probably what they do. I just know I had it the one time I was in Tennessee. I went to this mom and pop place, and I said, "What the hell's a Fat Elvis?" And they explained it to me. They said peanut butter, banana, and bacon on a toasted bun. All right, let's try it.
I'd give it a shot, I guess. It does sound
bizarre. It was good.
I don't know if I'd like it or not, but I would give it a shot.
Oh, it's fantastic, dude. Make it at home next time you're at home, or you are at home.
Next time I'm at home.
For dinner.
All right, Texas, your home state. And I don't know if I can't get behind deep fried butter, man. What are y'all doing down there?
The Texas State Fair, ever since they came up with the idea, ever since they came up with the deep fried corn dog, now they're deep frying everything. Deep fried butter, deep fried cookies, deep fried turkey.
Okay, now the deep fried Oreos are pretty good, though.
Yeah. Deep fried...
but an entire stick of butter battered up and fried?
Yes. That's a heart attack waiting to happen. That's why I only order one whenever I go, which...
I would order zero. I would go for the Oreos instead.
In fact, I think it's open this month. I need to go over there whenever I can.
Damn. That is
see what other fry concoctions.
But I've always said that fair food isn't really cuisine. It's more like a stunt.
Yeah.
So,
And it's expensive, too.
Utah's pick is Jell-O salad.
Jell-O salad.
It's basically an aspic made of Jell-O and, like, vegetables and fruits and stuff. I don't know. I don't like Jell-O, so I don't know that I'd eat this. Vermont's pick is raw milk. I think Vermont is one of the few states where raw milk isn't illegal.
Yeah.
Milk that hasn't been pasteurized. So there you go. Virginia is Brunswick stew. So what is this? Oh, so this is a nice way of saying roadkill stew.
Yeah, pretty much.
Washington's pick is the geoduck. Geoduck's just a giant clam. What's wrong with that? If you like clams, you'd like geoduck. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
And Washington D.C. is it's I don't know. I should ask Brandy about this because she lives in D.C. It's called the U Street Taco. Can you guess without looking it up, what a U Street Taco is?
Nope.
Okay, imagine a slice of pizza, but like 3 times as big as a normal slice of pizza.
All right.
Now, imagine a hot dog, but not a hot dog, one of those big sausages.
So a bratwurst.
Yeah, like a smoked sausage or something. And you put mustard and onions on it and some chili sauce, and then you wrap it in the slice of pizza. That's a U Street taco.
Oh, I gotta try me some of that
I
then.
know, right? It actually sounds pretty good.
Where was that at again?
Washington, D.C.
If by some small chance I drive through there during the Juggalo March, I'm gonna have to get that for dinner then.
It's probably sold in pizzerias, I would imagine.
I'll check it out whenever I go through there.
From the picture, it comes in a pizza. West Virginia's fried squirrel. Oh, if you can eat squirrel, you might as well. Isn't eating squirrel kind of dangerous?
Sounds like roadkill.
Like, can't you get like rabies or something from that?
If they're foaming at the mouth, yeah.
Yeah. Wisconsin's is the butter burger. I don't know. Burger sounds like it might actually be kind of good.
Yeah.
Because beef and butter, they go well together. Like
Surprisingly,
I've never put butter as a topping on a burger, but if I have to fry a burger, I would usually try to fry it in butter. Wyoming's pick is the Chuck Wagon Breakfast.
Chuck Wagon Breakfast. Sounds
So
like a breakfast thing.
It is a breakfast thing. It looks like it's a quiche with like potatoes in it or something.
Old West recipes of the Chuck Wagon.
There you go. All right. Oh, they included Washington, D.C., but they didn't include Puerto Rico. Go figure. So out of 51, a lot of these were not gross.
I'd say about 31.
Not even that many. There were only a few that were, like, honestly that gross.
The thing is, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, yeah, these are kind of gross. I mean, think about it. Rocky Mountain oysters and
yeah, but you're the one You're the one who's had it, and you said it's good.
It is good, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The first time I heard it, I was like, "What the?" And then they told me it's bull balls. I was like, "Ugh, no."
I expected it to be more like the Arizona thing where people are eating the spider pods.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this like a 12. I'm disappointed. Mostly it just made me hungry.
I'm hungry right now too.
Well, let's say we'll do one more list to cap it off.
Sounds good. Let me blow my nose real quick.
Honk, honk, motherfucker.
Get another paper towel here. Hog if you're horny.
Oh. I just want to see Honk if you're horny in peace. Leave me with my dignity.
A fridge too far.
Hey, fatty, I got a movie for you. A fridge too far. All right, let me pick a list here.
Best episode ever.
I wouldn't say it was the best ever, but it was a good one.
It's up there.
You know what? Poofnisse sent me this Pokemon list. I might as well do this one with you because Jesse doesn't. I mean, he knows Gen 1. That's about it, you know?
Shit, I'm barely on with Gen 6 and 7.
Well, this is from Dorkly. It's 15 Pokemon truths revealed by Tumblr.
Uh-oh.
So this should be interesting. Okay, so this person named Exire posts a picture of showing how tall Gengar is compared to a average human. How tall would you think a Gengar is?
If I remember correctly, about 7'8".
Whoa, they're not that big. Jeez. It's
really?
They're 4'11".
Wow.
Yeah. So Exire says, if you've ever wondered how big Gengars are, here is your answer. And Lichgate says, he's big enough to have sex with. And Entimo says, I mean, that's true, but that's not the first thing I would have said.
Have some nice dreams after that one, because he's hungry afterward.
You know what my nephew said to me about Gengar last weekend?
What's that?
Gengar says his name because he forgets it. Yeah, that's how I reacted. I just, like, what?
My mind is completely blown.
Yeah, he says that Gengar says his name because he forgets his name and he has to remind himself that that's his name.
Wow.
I don't get it personally, but
it's because he eats his own dreams.
Okay.
He eats his own memories. That's what dreams are supposed to be. They're supposed to be the subconscious of our memory.
Yeah, but that's what my nephew's take on it was. He forgets what his name is, so he has to say it constantly.
Well, there goes Pikachu's reasoning for saying it all the time.
You know, I told him, I was like, in the games, the only one that says his name is Pikachu. Because he watches that cartoon and he gets some weird ideas.
22 years and still going strong.
He's still 10 years old. I think they rebooted it, too. That's the crazy thing. All right, well, number 2, I love this. This is, the new Pokemon designs suck. The originals were so much better. Bumhead Fire Duck, Purple Rat, Bird with Leek, and who could forget my personal favorite, some eggs.
You ain't lying.
Number 3, this person says, post this meme and says, oh, you're a gamer? Repost and name 26 games other than Minecraft and Flappy Bird. So this person, Deku Tree, says, easy. So this he's naming a bunch of Pokemon games. It starts out with real ones, but then it goes into the realm of insanity. So Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Bronze, Pokemon Red Fire, Pokemon Grass Green, Pokemon Ruby Tuesday, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon ABC, Pokemon XYZ, Pokemon Now I Know My ABCs, Pokemon Dungeon Dice Monsters, Pokemon The Last Airbender, Pokemon of the Galaxy, Pokemon Horror Story Asylum, Pokemon Horror Story Coven, Pokemon Horror Story Coven 2, Pokemon Ping Pong, Pokemon Party 8, Pokekart Double Dash, Pokemon Crunchwrap Supreme, Pokemon Crossdress, Pokemon Finger Blast, Pokemon Facebook Edition, Pokemon Who, and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I love the way that ends with fucking Simon's Quest. Oh, that's great. And somebody replied to that and said it's leaf green, not grass green. He says, yes, thank you. That's the one game I needed to be corrected on.
Wow.
Castlevania 2. Oh, it's fucking great. All right, so number 4 says, this is from Stack of 64 Lime Slime. You think, if they put some like complicated ass looking math formula and it says, you think this formula is some advanced math crap? Something used to find the something of the something advanced math? No. This is the formula used by Pokemon games to calculate the shaky of Pokemon balls when you catch a Pokemon.
Wow.
I thought it was just a simple animation of it wobbling.
That's what I was thinking.
So, number 5, Anonymous asks badly drawn Pokemon, can you draw Dragonair being boss? And they have this terrible drawing of a Dragonair saying, you're fired, and a Psyduck saying, well, shit. You're fired, well, shit. All right, number 6. It says, when you attempt to talk to your crush and there's a picture from, I assume it's from Gen 3, and it says, oh, boo, nothing went right. And then the person says, your Squirtle's name is Pikachu. And then the original person says, mind your own business.
I used to do that. I'd like mess up everyone's names, like make them say like, I have a team of Rattatas that are going to beat your ass. And all my Pokemon are they're all different, but they're all named Rattata.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And they would get pissed off. They're like, "Oh shit! I thought he was gonna have a level 100 Rattata that was gonna kick our ass, and it's a freaking Mewtwo."
Like Dragonite comes out, but his name is Rattata. That's great.
Oh, I love messing with people.
Yeah, you know, I saw a video of somebody beating the final boss of either Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire with a level 1 Rattata.
I gotta look that up whenever I get the chance. Then
they used a technique where they would basically they had the what do you call it, the what's that item called?
Guard spec?
No, not that. The focus sash.
Oh yeah.
They had the focus sash on, and so they would get hit, obviously. And that would take them, because they're level 1, it would take them right down to 1 hit point because of the focus sash. They'd survive the hit. And then they'd use Endeavor.
Oh.
Which would take the enemy down to 1 hit point. And then the next was Quick Attack. And he kept doing that over and over again, and he went right through the Elite Four and the final boss with just
Damn.
Rattata. Of course, the thing is, to get a level 1 Rattata with those moves, you have to breed it, so it's just like a very time consuming.
Well, he did it, so...
Yeah, well, it's for the YouTube video, you know? Okay, number 7 shows a picture from the anime, and it says, this is Grumpy Dog. Go ahead and pet this giant shark raptor dragon. This is little girl's, petting Garchomp. He's letting it happen, so I guess he's okay with it. Okay, this one says, in Deadpool Goddamn, I'm Deadpool Goddamn, it says, leaked new evolution. Now there's Eevee, Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, Sylveon, and finally, Celine Dion. And there's a picture of Celine Dion at the end.
The evolution is complete. They have evolved into humans finally.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, Mr. Mime is kind of halfway there. Creepy bastard.
It's a clown.
Well, it's a mime. But it looks vaguely human.
He looks like he would blow Pennywise, too.
Ugh. I'm going to see that movie later, too. I hope there's nothing like that in there.
Oh, if it follows the book, it's going to be...
Well, look, I've read that book, and I don't want it to follow the book too closely.
Well, yeah, of course, because, it is beyond fucked up, a book. This is the one time where I'm going to say, read the book, then see the movie. Not vice versa. This ain't Lord of the Rings.
I got to say, the book, man, you just got to be prepared for the fact that at the end, all the kids decide to have sex.
Yeah. It's a full-blown gangbang.
For no reason.
Except as we have to strengthen our bond.
Okay, and what did they do 3 pages later? They cut their hands and shared blood. Wouldn't that have been better to do the first time?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, instead of the gangbang. They ran a train on poor Beverly.
These are like 11, 12-year-olds. It's like I didn't even lose my virginity until I was like 17, 18.
They were 11. That just fucked up. Like, one of them's got a broken arm. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
That fucked me up when I read it. Okay, number 9. So this is from Pokemon Global Academy. It said, according to multiple reporters who were on the scene, a man wearing a Pikachu hat and carrying a stuffed Pokemon jumped the White House fence today and ran across the lawn before being apprehended by Secret Service agents.
Well,
he didn't have all the badges.
You think President Punta will challenge you to a duel with those puny little things?
I love that I got you calling him President Punta now.
I call him President Peachy Capron.
Oh, I won't say what that means. Not on List Critics.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad. But you know what? If he was like the last boss of a Pokemon game, it wouldn't be that bad because he just have 6 gumshoes. All right. Number 10 shows Jesus Christ. They photoshopped the cover of the book Twilight instead of like an apple or whatever the fuck it was. It's a Pokeball.
Yeah.
There's about 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, I had a Pokemon. Second, there was a part of me, and I didn't know how dominant that part might be, that wanted to be the very best like no one ever was. Third, Gary Oak was unconditionally and irrevocably a douche nozzle. Okay. That's funny.
No shit, he was a douche nozzle. It took Ash 12 seasons to finally beat his ass.
There's replies to this that go on to rewrite like the whole fucking first chapter of Twilight as Pokemon. I'm not going to read this all out because I really don't want to do that. But yeah, we're not doing that.
All we're going to say is vampires don't fucking sparkle.
They shouldn't, right? Why would they?
They're supposed to be cooked or start cooking at least.
Well, in sunlight, actually traditionally vampires are only supposed to be weakened by sunlight.
That's why I said it. They start cooking. Yeah. Like they're not instantly killed like
in the book version of Dracula, if he was caught in the daytime, he wouldn't like die or get burned or anything, but he would be significantly weaker and unable to use his powers.
Yeah.
Essentially, they would become human in daylight. But I like the version in like Blade where they just burst into ash. That's more fun.
Yeah.
So it shows this one, number 11, shows another screen cap, I guess, from the anime, and it's got a bunch of Pokemon, and it looks like they're drowning or something. You got like a Smoochum and a couple of Pichus and a Meowth and a Teddy Ursa, and they're all panicking. And then there's this Wooper there that's just smiling. And it says, and this person zooms in on the Wooper's face and puts the caption, "We're all gonna fucking die."
He's accepted his fate.
Yeah. He's got that big old fucking doofy grin on his face.
What did I do to deserve this?
Okay, so this person posts a screenshot from, I think it must be, just judging from the graphics, it's X and Y. And they're facing a horde battle of 5 shiny Mareeps. So Yama said, "You will never understand my unfathomable hatred for this shitty-ass fucking picture." Zach Asphalt says, "Are all those Mareeps fucking shiny?" And Grawley says, "In Pokemon X and Y, there is a 1 in 4,096 chance of finding a shiny. 4,096 to the power of 4 is 281,474,976,710,656.
I think that woman should have played the lottery.
Well, that's the next comment. Well, from what I understand, you have a better chance of winning the Mega Millions jackpot. And somebody says, "I just checked. The odds of winning the Mega Millions jackpot are 258 million. You potentially could have won the Mega Millions jackpot 1,087,234 times at this rate. Look at this picture. The occurrence taking place in this picture is 1 million times more rare than winning one of the biggest lotteries out there. Unfucking believable." Or they use Game Shark.
I don't know. All I know is all I say is I play $10 a week. I've come close once 8 years ago, and with that money I bought a car. But it still eggs me to this day. If I had one more number, I would not be in the middle of Charlotte, North Carolina. Not Charlotte, North Carolina. Commerce, Georgia, which is north of Atlanta. I would not be sitting here sick as a dog.
How long are you going to be there? Because that's not a place you want to be in a few days.
Oh, I'm only going to be here till tomorrow morning. Then I'm heading up north to Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's good. You know what the worst thing about the 5 shiny Mareeps is? You could only attempt to catch one of them.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
So, there you go. So number 13 shows somebody using the DS stylus to feed cake to their Aegislash. Eat this cake, you fucking sword. Perhaps he doesn't want the entire cake. Perhaps he just wants a slice. Yeah! I had to do it. So this shows a picture from either Leaf Green or Fire Red, where Red is talking to Brock, and it says, "My Pokemon are all rock hard," and the caption is, "Whoa, Brock, I'm just here to get my badge."
Wow.
Yeah, calm it down with that, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Number 15 from Pokemon Y it shows Mankey in the Pokedex. It says, "It lives in treetop colonies. If one becomes enraged, the whole colony rampages for no reason." And then the caption on that is just the Tumblr logo. It's true. You piss off one Tumblrite, you piss them all off, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the last one. Oh, that was unfortunate because I was starting to enjoy those.
Yeah, I know, right?
The fucking Wooper. You got to see this picture. I have to send this to you. He's just
I've seen it.
Oh,
I've seen it.
Okay.
Where they're all drowning and Wooper's just sitting there with a smile and is like,
we're all going to fucking die. You know, how does Wooper tread water anyway? He didn't get no fucking arms.
His tail?
I guess. How's he learn Ice Punch?
You got me there.
Well, probably won't make any sense. You try to make sense of this shit, you're going to be having the worst headache ever. Out of 15, what will you say, Peyton?
I'll say 14.
I'm going to say 13. And that's going to be the fucking List Critics. We'll see you guys probably in a week or two for List Critics 2, and next week back with more List Critics. You know, say goodbye, Peyton.
I think he got cut off again. No, I didn't.
Oh, well, say. I'm waiting for you to say goodbye or something.
Bye, guys.